Mr. Croc's 80th birthday. And it was a nice bit of pregame programming. The umpires have met at home plate. They've exchanged the lineup cards, and here to tell you what appears on those cards, Skip Carey.
Hey, Ernie, thank you very much. Hello again, everybody. For Atlanta, it's like this. Claudell Washington leads it off in right field. Rafael Ramírez at shortstop. Dale Murphy, the center fielder, bats third, and Chris Chambliss is clean up at first base. Terry Harper, the Atlanta left fielder, bats fifth. Jerry Royster at third base hits sixth. Glenn Hubbard will play second, bat seventh. Bruce Benedict will do the catching, batting eighth. And Pascual Perez will pitch. Let's pause here for identification. This is the Braves Baseball Network.
This is the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Before we give you the San Diego lineup, let's enjoy our national anthem as sung by recording artist Vicky Carr. Here's the way the Padres line up. Alan Wiggins will lead it off in center field. Juan Bonilla, the second baseman, bats to the number 2 spot. Gene Richards in left field hits third. Terry Kennedy bats cleanup, plays first base. Tony Gwynn, the right fielder, will hit fifth. Joe LaFay, who we have previously seen in the outfield and behind the plate, is at third base tonight, hitting sixth. Tim Flannery, normally a third baseman, bats seventh and plays shortstop. Ron Tingley will catch and hit eighth. And John Montefusco will do the pitching. Lifetime 6-8 against Atlanta, 0-1 this year. Perez has no record against the Padres. As a Brave, as a member of the Pirates, he is 0-1 against their team. The umpires behind the plate, Lanny Harris, Barry Tata at first base. Paul Runge calls the plays at second. And Bob Engel will do the umpiring at third. San Diego 80 and 80 for the year with 2 to go. Atlanta 88 and 72. This broadcast authorized under rights granted by the Atlanta Braves solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves, a subsidiary of the Turner Broadcasting System, is prohibited. The announcers of this event are employed by the Atlanta Braves. Ronald McDonald has just thrown out the first ball here to the San Diego Chicken, and now we're ready for baseball. You know the significance of this game. The Dodgers just absolutely demolished the Giants today. 15-2 the final. They pounded out 17 hits, 3 of them homers by Kenny Landreau, Ron Say, and Mike Scioscia. Jeff Leonard homered for the Giants. Bob Welch, the winner, is 16-11. Rini Martin, the loser, 7-10. Elsewhere, tonight the Pirates beat Montreal 2-1. Philadelphia 4-3 over New York at the end of 7 innings of play. Houston leads Cincinnati 4-2, and this afternoon the Cubs beat the Cardinals 8-4. In the American League, the Angels became the Western Division champions by beating Texas 6-4, the score there. 6-13-0 for the Angels, 4-8-0 for Texas. Reggie Jackson, Bobby Grich, and Fred Lynn all homered for the winners. Harry Sundberg and O'Brien homered for the losers. Dave Goltz, the winner, 8-5. Luis Sanchez, his 5th save. Charlie Huff, the loser, he's 16-13. Baltimore stayed alive. They beat Milwaukee 11-3, pounding out 18 hits. In relief, Sammy Stewart, the winner, 10-9. Doc Medich, the loser, 12-15. Ben Ogilvie, the game's only homer. So they're dead even going into the final game of the season. Don Sutton against Jim Palmer in Baltimore tomorrow. Kansas City gamely did their best. They beat Oakland 5-4, but then stood helplessly by as the Angels won their game. Quisenberry won it over Tom Underwood. Tony Armas, a 2-run homer, is 28th of the year for Oakland. The White Sox beat Minnesota 5-3. Cleveland and Detroit split a doubleheader. 2-0 Cleveland in the first game, 4-1 Detroit in the second. Toronto shut out Seattle 3-0, and Boston shut out the Yankees 5-0. We're ready to go here, and Claudell Washington will lead it off for Atlanta. Claudell hitting at .268 for the year, 16 homers, 80 RBIs. That's a personal high for him, the 80 runs driven in. Another perfect night for baseball in Southern California. Tomorrow, Bill Lansky for the Giants, Fernando Valenzuela for the Dodgers. Rick Camp will pitch for Atlanta tomorrow against Southpaw Tim Lawler. So Washington to lead it off. The Braves clinch a tie if they win tonight. The Giants are out of it. Fusco into the wind. The count delivers. Fastball low and inside. 1 ball, no strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Skip Terry, Ernie Johnson with you from San Diego. The 1 ball, no strike pitch to the left-hand hitter. A little bit inside. It's 2-0. Fusco not too pleased with that call by Lanny Harris. The outfield plays Claudell straight away. He's got a lot of room, however, down the left field line. 2-0 pitch forthcoming. Right through there, a fast break. It's 2-1. Nobody on, nobody out. We're just underway. Again, Montefusco gets the sign from Ron Tingley. His pitch swung on, pop foul back, and out of play to the left. Count even to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fever has gripped the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. They're holding the presses tonight, we understand, so that they can get the story of this game into your paper tomorrow. The pitch swung on, little tap toward first. Kennedy to his right field. Montefusco covered, bobbles, but hangs on, and he's out. 1 down. Montefusco bobbled the throw, but then got control of it with his foot still on the bag, 1 away. And Rafael Ramírez will be the Atlanta batter. Ramirez hitting at .278, 10 homers, 51 RBI. Number 16, Rafael Ramírez. Rafi was 0 for 3 here last night, hit the ball hard a couple of times. He has been swinging a hot bat. Dale Murphy will be next. They've got around 50,000 in the ballpark here tonight. Montefusco into the wind. The right-hand hitter waits the pitch. Fastball high. 1 ball, no strike. Two races to be decided, and we're in one of them. The pitch almost hit him inside. 2-0, and again Montefusco falls behind on the count. John takes a little walk around. Now he's ready. And the 2-0 pitch is on the way. A little high. 3 balls, no all started in West Palm Beach, Florida on February 19th. Nobody knew then who would win the West. 7.5 months later, in October, we still don't know. The pitch is outside, and Ramírez is aboard. So Rafael at first with 1 out, and Dale Murphy the batter. Number 3.
You know, Murphy has a 4-game hitting streak, but he hasn't hit the way he wants to these past 2 or 3 weeks, and possibly today and tomorrow he'll get back in the groove. But I think that one of the things that's hurt him, I think they've pitched around him a lot and given him a lot of bad balls to swing at, and he's probably walked more in the last 2 weeks than he did any 2 weeks in the season.
He's hitting at .429 against Padres pitching with 6 homers, 16 RBIs. He's 27 out of 63. The pitch. Curve ball, a beauty right in there, 0-1. Ernie Johnson, Skip Carey with you. Murphy out of the batter's box takes a look at his third base coach, Dal Maxfield. Sonny Jackson working over at first. They play Murph way around toward left. Throw to first, chases Ramírez back, but he makes it easily. Montefusco again set, again throws to first, again the runner back. Braves trying to get something going in the first. The stretch, the pitch. Curve sweeps outside. Count even to the ball and the strike. Tommy Boggs was originally scheduled to pitch tomorrow, but he's got some stiffness in that shoulder. So Rick Camp, who unfortunately didn't pitch as long as he would have liked to the other night in Los Angeles, will get the call. Throw to first, runner back. A week ago against the Padres, Camp pitched a great ball game, but came up short 3-2 in Atlanta, the stretch. The pitch to Murph, fastball inside, it's 2-1. Our pregame show with Phil Niekro. He says if they have to, they can use him tonight or tomorrow.
Anytime.
Or he'll go 9 Monday if he has to in a playoff. The stretch. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, pop foul back and out of play. And the count evens to 2-2.
You know, you wouldn't say that about strictly a hard thrower, but you could say it to Niekro because he does rely on the knuckleball, and you wonder sometimes, like last night, he's pitched 2 straight shutouts. You wonder how long he could pitch. He might just go out there tomorrow or the next day and pitch 4 or 5 good innings, maybe even more.
2-2, the count to Murphy.
We're not going to Bob Gibson, though. We told Bob we're not going to call him.
Swung and missed, runner going. Throw to second, he is safe. Throw into center field. Ramírez on his way to third. He'll make it without a play, but Murphy is out of there. And it's up to Chris Chambliss if Atlanta's going to break out on top. Tingley bounced the throw down there. The air will be on him. Another stolen base for Rafael, but Murphy out on strike. Batting fourth. Number 10. Here's Chambliss. Chris hitting at .271, 19 homers, 85 RBI. Ramírez 90 feet away with a potential lead run for Atlanta here in the first. Montefusco into the wind and his pitch. Fastball that'll tap to second. That will be easy. Bonilla to first, and the inning is over. So the Braves fail in the first. No hits, no runs, 1 air, 1 left. At the end of the half inning, your score: San Diego nothing. Atlanta will now bet.
Well, up at Candlestick Park on Saturday, Ken Landreau and Mike Scotia hit 3-run homers, and Ron Cey added a solo blast to give L.A. a 15-2 victory over San Francisco. That keeps the Dodgers in the National League West race, but it eliminates the Giants. That victory was the 3rd straight for the Dodgers, and it moved them within a half game of the first-place Atlanta Braves. And you're listening to the Atlanta-San Diego game right now. The Giants, who started the final week of the season only 1 game behind, suffered their 3rd loss in their last 4 games. Landreau's homer capped a 6-run second inning, and Cey connected in the 3rd for a 7-0 lead. Scotia followed with his homer in the 5th to make it 10-0. Then the Dodgers scored 2 runs in the 6th on an RBI single by Dusty Baker and a sacrifice fly by Steve Garvey. Bob Welch, with a 16-11 record, pitched the first 5 innings for Los Angeles and held the Giants to only 1 hit for his 4th victory this season over San Francisco and his 11th against 1 loss for his career. The Giants scored 2 runs off Dave Stewart in the 8th on a solo homer by Jeff Leonard and back-to-back doubles by Ron Pruitt and Joe Patini. The Dodgers did most of their damage against Al Holland, who replaced starter and loser Rennie Martin, who now has a 7-10 record.
Al Wiggins leads off the bottom half of the first inning for San Diego. Braves failed in their half, and Pascual Perez gets ready to go to work. He's into the wind, and the pitch is on the way. Fastball fouled back, gets 0-1. Perez has been pitching great ball out of the bullpen for Atlanta. He's had 2 6 2/3 inning shutout performances in the last couple of weeks. He failed miserably his last start. The 0-1 pitch, here it is. A little bit high, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Well, I think Georgia won and Georgia Tech lost today. I'm normally a lot more interested in that than I am this year. The 1-1 pitch, here it is. Strike 2 called. Fastball at the letters inside corner, and Pascual's ahead, a ball and 2 strikes.
Baseball's probably got its largest audience this weekend. No pro football, or what interest? Everywhere.
Perez again winds, and the pitch is on the way. Just missed low. Benedict was ready to throw it around the horn, but Lanny Harris said no. And the count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I want to congratulate Gene Moss, California Angels. He's a former member of the Braves organization, 23 years as a manager, and he won his first pennant.
The 2-2 pitch, here it is. It's high, and the count is full on Wiggins, 3-2. He can fly. You want to... If he gets on, you want him to earn it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again, the wind by Perez on the payoff pitch to Wiggins. Swung on, ground ball to short. Ramírez fields and throws. 1 out. Wiggins is retired, and Juan Bonilla will be the batter. Gene Mock is one of the most articulate men in all of baseball, ordinarily. But not today. They tried to interview him in the locker room after the Angels game, and he could not talk. He excused himself, locked himself in his office, and I bet he cried like a baby, and if he did, I'm proud of him.
Sure he did. It looked like he was choked up when he tried to say a couple of words. It's been a long time coming for him.
Bonilla hitting at 276 with no homers, 8 RBIs. 1 out, nobody aboard, bottom half of the first inning. Pascual Perez pumps and fires. Breaking ball, base hit like a bullet, left field. Bonilla singles to left, and he's aboard with 1 out. That's the game's first hit. Let's run through it again for you. You've been in a cave for the last week or so, and I don't know what's happening. If the Braves win tonight, the worst thing that can happen to them is a 1-game playoff for the Marbles on Monday in Los Angeles, which would start, game time would be 8:15 Atlanta time.
If the Dodgers win tomorrow.
That's the worst thing that could happen if Atlanta wins tonight. Here's Gene Richards in the pitch, a little slip toward third. Royster's going to go to second. Close, he's up. They got the 4th play, no chance at a double play, and a good play by Royster. So Richards reaches on a fielder's choice. Bonilla is forced to second, and here's Terry Kennedy, who was robbed of a double on a sensational play by Claudell Washington to end the game last night. Runner at first, 2 down. No score in the ballgame. Perez looks in. He comes set. The pitch. Serve ball a little high. 1 ball, no strike. Richards has good speed. Might be swiping a base. They tell us he is likely to be traded after this year. The stretch. The pitch. Low, 2-0 the count. Tony Gwynn, the right fielder, waits on deck, but there are 2 out in the inning. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Kennedy with 21 homers, 97 RBIs, 41 doubles to strike. pitch about to be made. No, it won't. Perez steps off the mound. So we'll have that to do all over again. 2-0 the count. Again the stretch. Now the 2-0 pitch. Strike called at the knees on the outside corner. Kennedy argues about that, and it's 2-1. Terry, like Bonilla, product of the fine baseball program at Florida State University. 2-1, the count to it. Perez off the rubber, fakes toward first, does not throw. Now he's back on the hill, the stretch. The 2-1 pitch. Here it is. Just missed outside. It's 3-1. So Kennedy in the driver's seat here with a 3-1 count. He has put together just a super season. Benedict with a sign. Richards delayed. He might be going here. The 3-1 pitch. Here it is. Swung on. Bouncing ball. Headed for left field. Base hit. Richards was not running. He will stop at second. That ball wasn't hit hard, but in a perfect spot between Royster and Ramírez, and the Padres mount a 2-out spread on the first. Richards at second. Kennedy at first. Here's Gwynn hitting at .290 with 1 homer, 17 RBI. With their current lineup, Atlanta probably possesses the 3 best throwing arms of any outfield in all of baseball. But with Richards' speed, a ball is really going to have to be tagged if it's a base hit, if you're going to get him at the plate. Perez comes set. The pitch to Gwynn. Bouncing ball. Hubbard to his left has it. He throws to first, and we're out of the inning. Nothing doing for the Padres in the first, so they threaten. No runs, 2 hits. No errors, 2 left. At the end of 1, no score from San Diego.
That crowd is cheering the wide receiver who has scored a touchdown. And that touchdown is a result of the entire team getting it together. Mark Starr, a legend in professional football, said, a phrase very popular around young people is getting it together. Well, the Packers did just that. They were so in tune with each other that they really did function as one. In the armed forces, as in football, teamwork is important. The team takes on a singular form. It is the team. Getting it together can make the difference in accomplishing extremely difficult tasks. Teamwork plays a major part in each service's basic training and is reiterated throughout the career of every soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine. While there are only 11 men on a football team, there can be thousands of service members involved in air, land, sea maneuvers, thus increasing the importance of teamwork and getting it together.
Today, not counting the 50,000 or so here, through 298,935 paying customers. So it's going to be about 350 once the attendance is in on this game. Harper hitting at .287. The pitch from Matafusco. Fastball outside. 1 ball, no strike. This is a big game personally for Matafusco. He's got a 10-10 record. He'd love to finish over 500. He's a nice fella, but I certainly hope he doesn't. The right-hand hitter waits, and the right-hander wheels and deals. That's high, 2-0. John is falling behind a lot of hitters there. This is his 32nd start of the year. He has but 1 complete game, which is a tribute to the good Padre bullpen. The 0 pitch. Swung on, line drive like a bullet, center field, base hit. Harper rips the single to center, and the Braves are off to a good start in the second. Well, they tested Tingley successfully in the first inning with Ramirez. See if Harper does some running here as Jerry Royster stands in. Jerry Royster, third base. By the way, Bob Horner finally took some batting practice today, 2 weeks to the day after he was hurt. So he may be available for pinch hitting duty tonight. Runner at first, nobody out. Fusco comes set. There goes the runner. The pitch swung and missed. Tingley's throw. He is safe. A stolen base for Harper. The throw was okay that time. He stole it off Fusco, and the Braves have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Let's see if Harper is okay. He went into that bag hard, calls time, and does a little running to shake the pain out of his right leg, but he's going to stay in there.
That's a good slide. He took the outside part of the bag and just went around the tag. Terry runs very well. He's moving a lot faster than it appears.
A stretch pitch to Royster. He's going to bunt. It's back to the mound. The only play will be to first in time. A 1-3 sacrifice for Royster, and Harper is at third. So the Braves play for one early here as Royster lays down a bunt. And Glenn Hubbard will bat. Let's see how the Padre infield will play it. Looks like they're coming in, which is somewhat surprising this early in the ballgame. They are infield in for San Diego. Runner at third, one out in the second. Fusco will pitch off the stretch. Hubbard at 246 for the year. The pitch to him. Bad strike at the knees, outside corner. It's 0-1. Are you as surprised as I am?
Yeah, usually early you try to keep out of a big inning.
Well, let's see who this strategy pays off for, if anyone. The stretch. The 0-1 to the hub. It gets away, but not far enough. Tingley fires to Fusco, who came dashing in, but Harper wisely held at third. The curveball was in the dirt, and the count evens at 1-1. Fusco strides back to the mound.
There are some managers, though, that always play back with nobody out and bring the infield up with one out. They just get into a certain pattern like that. But it does give Hubbard a chance to shoot a ball through there that normally wouldn't get through.
A ball and a strike to count. Harper at third, one out. The stretch. The pitch. Curve outside. It's 2-1. Bruce Benedict would be next. One out in the inning. Hubbard with 9 homers, 58 RBI. The stretch. The 2-1 pitch. Almost hit him inside. It's 3-1. Hubbard will take a look at Al Maxfield, but I'm sure he'll have the hit privilege here. He's got Fusco crippled, 3 balls and a strike. The stretch. The pitch. Swung on, line drive like a bullet. Base hit center field. The run is in. He almost took the count hit off. Hubbard hit it like a shot up the middle. It's 1-0 Atlanta. Boy, he really ripped that ball. He got ahead on the count and just overpowered it. A bullet up the middle. 1-0 Atlanta. Hubbard is at first, and here's Bruce Benedict. Nobody gets to that ball with the infield in or the infield back.
You know, he guessed right. 3-1, Fusco behind. Obviously, Hubbard saying, I think he's going to throw me a fastball, and guessed with him and came out right. Boy, hit that ball well.
Up 59th RBI of the year. So Benedict stands in with a runner at first. And one out. Activity already in the bullpen for San Diego. Mike Griffin up and throwing. The pitch. Downstairs to Benedict. 1 ball, no strike. 1-0 Atlanta. We're in the second. Fusco asks for a new baseball and gets it from Lanny Harris. Braves' new theme song should be Meet Me in St. Louis.
Yes, sir. St. Louis, Louis. Meet me in St. Louis, Louis.
A ball, the count to Benedict. Throw to first. Hubbard is back easily. The RBI for Glenn was his 59th of the year. Perez waits on deck. The stretch pitch. Runner going, swung and fouled back. Braves tried to play some hit and run. Benedict fouled it away, and the count is even. A ball and a strike. And now Dick Williams to the mound to talk it over with Montefusco. And we'll pause for identification. This is the Braves Baseball Network.
This is the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Dick Williams returns to the bench. I think Ernie thinks that he's telling him to pay a little more attention to the runners, huh?
They've been running on him. The Braves have 2 stolen bases already, and Hubbard was off on that last pitch, so he's got to hold them a little closer. Might have said that.
A ball and a strike. The count to Benedict. The stretch. Throw to first. Runner back. Braves lead it 1-0. A single by Harper, a stolen base, a Royster sacrifice, and a Hubbard single. The stretch. The pitch. There he goes. Swung. Little looping foul back out of play, and it's 1-2. The Braves running the bases with reckless abandon, and that's the way they've been playing the last week or so. Benedict now in the hole, 1-2. If it's not capacity, it's within 100 or so. A great tribute to Ray Kroc. Again, the stretch by the count. Throw to first. Hubbard is back. I doubt that they would hit and run with this particular count because it puts tremendous pressure on the hitter with 2 strikes. Throw to first. Runner back. Montefusco comes set. Now the pitch. Curve struck him out. Benedict out on strike. Strikeout number 2 for Montefusco. Perez will hit with 2 outs. Fastball normally tries to dump a bunt on the first pitch. He has great running speed. And Joe LaFay, normally an outfielder, is a third tonight, which makes that even more likely. Hubbard at first, 2 down. 1-0 Atlanta, our score. The count. Delivered. Took a strike. It's 0-1. Even if Perez makes out here, the Braves will start with the top of their order in the third. The hits are even at 2. Atlanta leads on the scoreboard, 1-0. The stretch, the 0-1 pitch. A little bit high, evens the counter, the ball, and the strike. Perez bats like he throws, right-handed. Again the stretch. The pitch. Started to swing, tried to stop, went around. He's in the hole, 1-2. All the other Major League Baseball over for the day except this one. The 1-2 pitch, here it is. Curve struck him out, hitting over. Third strikeout for Montefusco, but the Braves break on top with a run on 2 hits. There were no errors, a runner was left. At the end of an inning and a half, your score, Atlanta 1, San Diego 0.
Hey, quitting time. Let's get out of here. Yeah, me too. Okay, Sarge? I gotta meet that little corporal from the control tower.
Wow. Sure, go ahead, all of you. I have to work a while. I'll lock up. The sergeant's being nice, but this is the time when security troubles start. When you work late, when you clean up for everyone else, when you're tired after a long day, that's when you forget. Well, that does it. Guess I'm ready for the club myself. Just a minute, Sergeant. Safe lock? Huh? Oh, yeah, sure, of course. Carbons and rough notes in the burn bag? All done, I said. What about the tape for the automatic typewriter? Tape? The tape? Oh, my gosh, I forgot the tape. See what I mean? Keep a checklist and use it at closing time.
Created a new health care benefit verification system called DEARS, the Defense Enrollment Eligibility Reporting System. As an active duty serviceman or woman, you are automatically enrolled. However, you must enroll your eligible family members. Being enrolled means that the name has gone into a computer record file. From then on, whenever you or your family members go into a military or public health service hospital or clinic, your eligibility or theirs can be checked quickly and immediately. Contact your personnel office to secure the benefits you've earned.
Joe LeFay will lead it off in the bottom half of the second inning for the Padres. It will be LeFay, Flannery, and the catcher Ron Tingley. Fastball Perez takes to a 1-0 lead.
Skip, I think if I were a player, my feeling would be that, number one, you've got to win tonight. But in order to have no ties, you have to win tomorrow, too. I just have a feeling that the players down there feel that they've got to do it themselves. They've got to win both these games because the Dodgers are on a tear right now. I don't know if the Giants can stop them tomorrow or not. Valenzuela is going for Los Angeles. One encouraging, though, the Giants have handled him. They've beaten him 4 times.
LeFay, a left-hand hitter, leads it off, hitting at 237 the pitch. Bad strike at the letters, inside corner, 0-1. Unlike the Dodgers, the Braves are controlling their own destiny.
I like to think back. You know, we left the game behind. And somebody said, look, on Saturday night, you're going to be a game ahead with 2 to go. I'd take my chances.
The 0-1 let up it on 2 hops to Rafael. Ramírez throws, 1 down. Good change of pace by Perez. Had LeFay out front, 1 away. Here's Tim Flannery. I wonder how Jim Palmer and Don Sutton are sleeping tonight. Uneasily, I would think. What's pressure on those 2 men for Baltimore and Milwaukee tomorrow?
Here's how we've always said, you just never know about this game of baseball. Who would have bet that going into that series, they had to win 1 ball game. And on that 1 ball game is the final game of a 4-game set tomorrow in Baltimore. They have the momentum, too. They've been pounding that ball.
The pitch to Flannery, swung on, fly ball, left field. Ramírez out, Harper in. Terry is there. 2 out. So Flannery goes quickly, and here's Ron Tingley hitting at just 111. They called him up from Hawaii at the Coast League, where he did not have a good year with the bat, but they're extremely high on his defensive abilities. And Tingley digs in there. Perez into the wind, and the pitcher on the way. Fastball just missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 Atlanta, our score, bottom of the second. Again the wind. The pitch. Swung and missed the fastball. Count even, 1-1.
I mentioned of course, the Giants are out of it now. If there is a tie, a playoff, it's going to be Monday in Los Angeles, and it'll be at 5:15 their time, which is 8:15 back east.
The 1-1 to Tingley is high. 2 balls and a strike. Los Angeles, a nice town, but I've seen enough of it for this week. The 2-1 pitch, here it is. Swung on, pop foul back and out of play. 2-2 to the count. Want to say hi to Son Chip. Son driving around tonight trying to pick up WSB something.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
A 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Struck him out. Foul tipped it into the glove of Benedict. It was an off-speed curveball. And a 1-2-3 second for Perez. At the end of 2, your score. Atlanta 1, San Diego nothing.
In college football, tailback Cliff Austin ran for 3 touchdowns in the absence of quarterback Homer Jordan to lead 19th-ranked Clemson to a 24-6 victory over Kentucky. Jordan was suspended for possible NCAA rules infraction. Austin scored on runs of 5, 1, and 10 yards, rushing for 116 yards on 18 carries. Substitute quarterback Mike Epley passed for 95 yards and led the Tigers on 3 long scoring drives. Quarterback Dan Marino shook off 3 bad quarters and rallied top-ranked Pittsburgh to a 16-13 victory over number 14 of West Virginia. The Panthers erased a 13-0 lead as Marino connected on a 6-yard scoring pass to Julius Dawkins with 3:24 left to play. Eric Schubert then kicked the extra point. With 41 seconds left in the game, defensive tackle Bill Moss forced Mountaineers quarterback Jeff Hostetler out of the end zone for a safety. West Virginia's Paul Woodside was just short on a 52-yard field goal with 2 seconds left in the game. Mike Johnstone kicked 3 field goals in the second quarter to lift 12th-ranked Notre Dame to an 11-3 victory over Michigan State Saturday.
We're going to the third inning. At the top of the order, Claudell Washington will lead it off for Atlanta. I'm trying to save you folks in the southeast some money. I know a lot of people are calling, and they're calling out here, irately demanding why this game is not being televised by WCBS. It will be as soon as the college football game is over. We all feel very badly about the situation, but pure and simple, we're trying to bring you so much sports that sometimes we just overlap. And that is what has happened, and we apologize for it. But I know you enjoy the NCAA football broadcast most of the time, so just bear with us on radio. And they'll have the game on the tube as soon as the football game is over, which won't be much longer. Claudell Washington leads off the third, and the pitch is swung on and fouled to the left to 0-1. I know how irritating it must be for you, but rather than get angry, just be thankful that our station is trying to bring you so much good sports entertainment. Nothing had won the count. Washington bounced out his first time. The pitch swung, bounced foul past first, and the count goes to 0-2. Incidentally, last night, right before Niekro hit the home run, when we thought maybe Joe Torre was going to pinch hit, he never even thought about that. Garber was up only because it was a cool night and he was just trying to stay loose. The 0-2 pitch to Washington. Here it is. Curve drilled clear into the right field corner. Claudell around first. He's on his way to second. Win over. Washington around second. He's going to try. The relay will be late. It's a triple for Washington. He hangs on to the bag. He overslid the bag but maintained contact with it. And an argument at third base. LeFay arguing with Bob Engel. A triple for Washington. He never hesitated. The ball got hung up under the bullpen fence out in right field. That enabled him to take the extra base. And Claudell's at third with nobody out. Washington's sixth triple of the year. And Dick Williams out now to have a word with Bob Engel. But he'll never get a change. And the Braves with a chance to pick up at least one more here in the third inning.
That was close. I think he kept his foot on it. We got another look at it, Skip. Let's see now. His front foot hits it, then he comes over. He's still got his heel on it. I don't know. It was close. I think if he'd have gone the other way, you wouldn't have too much of an argument. It was that close.
But it's okay with us the way it worked out.
And I think Dick Williams walked out very slowly to protest it, knew that he wasn't going to get a change, but he's also killing a little time, as they've got a right-hander throwing again down in the left field bullpen. The runner is third, there's nobody out.
If that's number 45, and I think it is, it's Mike Griffin. Williams now returns to the bench, and Ramirez, Murphy, and Chambliss have a great chance to get the second Atlanta run of the night home. Infield in again for the Padres with nobody out. That is the third hit off Montefusco. Wickedly hit shot just over the bag. Ramirez walked his first time. The count will pitch off the stretch. Comes set. The right-hand hitter waits the pitch. Swung on, fly ball, well hit right field. Gwynn goes back near the track. Claudell tanks, here he comes. The throw to the plate is late and it's 2-0. A sacrifice fly off the bat of Ramirez. He hit it well to right field. It's a 2-0 ball game. RBI number 52 for the Atlanta shortstop. And Dale Murphy the bat. Murphy's strikeout victim his first time. 2-0 Atlanta in the third. They try and appeal over at third base, but I really really don't know why. Washington had plenty of time and took his time before heading to the plate. One out, nobody on, but a run is in. And Montefusco deals to Dale Murphy, swung and missed it. It's 0-1. Murph out of the batter's box. He is just struggling. You're right. They're pitching very carefully to him, pitching around him a little, but even when he gets pitches to hit, he's not doing much with them. The 0-1. Curve, he did something with that. Line down the left field line, fair into the corner. Murphy around first. He's on his way to second with a double, and he's in scoring position with one out, and it's bombs away on Montefusco here. A triple and a double in the inning. For Murph, his 23rd double of the year.
We're going to look at it again. I don't care who you are. If you hang a curveball, you're in trouble. No wonder Murphy didn't hit that in the upper deck. He doubled down the left field foul line, a curve right up in his face, and here's Chris.
Murphy runs well, as you know. The outfield plays Chambliss way around toward right. Not many clubs in the National League do that. The pitch, Murphy hits the third. The throw is going to be out. He's out by 10 feet. That hurt, for he was in scoring position. Tingley threw a perfect strike, but they had him by plenty. That's a play that you run on your own. And if he had it to do all over again, he'd still be standing at second, but he doesn't. 0-1, the count to Chambliss. The pitch was a strike. Montefusco delivered. Let up, fly ball right field deep. Way back. Glenn up the wall. It is out of here. Home run Chambliss. It is 3-0. And Chris has hit 20 for the first time in his career. Now Murph has beaten his head against the wall in the dugout, but you got to forget about it now. It's 3-0 Atlanta. A double, a triple, and a homer in the inning. Home run number 20, RBI number 86 for Chambliss. That is 5 hits off the count. And here's Terry Harper. He singled his first time. The wind and the pitch. Curve outside. 1 ball, no strike. There are 2 out, but 2 have scored. Again, Montefusco wheels and deals. Curve hit on the ground to third. LeFay on the short hop. Throws to first, and the inning is over, but a very, very good one for Atlanta. The Braves scored 2 on 3 hits. There were no errors, nobody left. At the end of 2.5, your score. Atlanta 3, San Diego nothing.
Continuing with some of the college football results from Saturday, Dalton Hilliard ran for 124 yards and scored 3 touchdowns, 2 on passes from quarterback Alan Wiggins to power Louisiana State to a 24-13 upset victory over 5th-ranked Florida. Hilliard carried 25 times as the Tigers outrushed the Gators 206 yards to 106 yards. Risher connected to Hilliard on scoring tosses of 41 and 3 yards and scored once on an 11-yard run. Quarterback Kelly Lowry caught 1 touchdown pass and threw for another, and tailback Greg Allen rushed for 105 yards to lead Florida State to a 34-17 victory over mistake-prone Ohio State. The Seminoles erased a 7-0 lead and rallied on the passing of Lowry and the running of Allen and Ricky Williams to hand the Buckeyes their 2nd straight home loss. Mike Rozier scored 2 second-half touchdowns, and 8th-ranked Nebraska used a crushing ground attack on the way to a 41-7 clobbering of 17th-ranked Auburn. The Cornhuskers finished with 504 yards total offense, including 342 on the ground.
Rick Lancelotti will pinch hit for Montefusco as we go to the 3rd inning. Lancelotti and his wife Guinevere live with their uncle Arthur in Camelot, Pennsylvania, and have a next-door neighbor named Merlin. And with the play-by-play story as we go to the bottom of the 3rd, Here again, Ernie Johnson.
Okay, Haas. Rays are leading 3-0. Pascual Perez has allowed a couple of hits, but no runs to this point. Ancelotti batting 184. Hasn't played much. No homers and 4 RBIs. He's a lefty. That'd be the top of the order with Alan Wiggins. Here's Pascual winding, pitching. Fastball down low. OI 285 got himself a 3-0 lead. Pascual Perez, who's had some great jobs in middle relief. Starting here tonight, delivers low. 2-0. Giants losing big today to the Dodgers, 15-2. The Dodgers had 17 hits, including 3 homers. Landreau, Say, and Scotia all hit homers. Leonard homered for the Giants. Benedict and Royster out to talk to Perez. You didn't hear the California Angels won their division, won the American League West today, beating Texas. Here's the pitch. That's the strike. A little pep talk helps. 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2 divisions are settled. The National League East goes to the Cardinals, American League West to the California Angels. Here's a little pop on the left side. Royster may have a play. He's near the stands, and he's leaping, and he got that ball. And he leaped because he was afraid that someone was going to reach out over the railing. And Froggy got off the ground and made that catch for out number 1. Of course, if someone reaches over, knocks it out of his hand, it's going to be called a catch anyway. But he wanted to make sure. Here's Al Wiggins, grounded out first time up. Used to beat Cincinnati 4-2. First time in the history of Cincinnati baseball, they lost 100 games in 1 year. 1 ball, no strikes. I'm glad that Nixon got a contract, though, to manage that ball club next year. I think it was one of those years that no matter who was managing, it was not going to be a good year. Pitches low, 2-0. Nixon's been in their system for a long time and should be given an opportunity. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's a windup by Perez, a pitch to the plate. Strike call, 2-1. Braves, if they could win here tonight, assure themselves of a tie for the National League West pennant. The pitch, driven toward left center field. Murphy way back there, and he's got it one-handed. A nice catch by Dale Murphy on a well-hit ball to left center for out number 2. Braves win tonight. They'll still be 1 up on Los Angeles with 1 game to play. We close it out here tomorrow. Braves win. They've got the flag. They go to St. Louis right after the ball game. If there happen to be a tie, the playoff goes to Los Angeles. Want to remind you of that time. Could happen. 5:15 the game will be played. That's Pacific time, which would be 8:15 in the East. And we will broadcast it. Here's a pitch. Juan Bonilla takes inside. 1 ball, no strike. Wind up by Pascual on the pitch. Swung on, hit foul. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. You talk to the Braves players, they're thinking about winning tonight, winning the ball. Had a good road trip. They won 4 ball games and lost 1. One and one. On the way from Pascual. Let up now toward the hole on the left side. Raffy grabs it. Long throw. Safe. Ramirez is all right. He slipped down. He'll have to go as an infield hit. He couldn't have thrown him out with a Gatling gun. But he fired toward first, and Bonilla still runs well. Lead it out. Now Gene Richards.
You know, Tim Lawler pitches for the Padres tomorrow at Southpaw, and the Braves are 26-14 against left-handers this year, which maybe makes this game even more important.
There's a bouncer up the middle. Hubbard got it, flips to Raffy, and they score. Bonilla coming down at the bottom of the third. His history, no runs, a hit, and one left. We go to the fourth inning with a score. Atlanta 3, San Diego nothing.
Now an update from ABC News. I'm Deirdre Bryant. Hundreds of Chicago area residents turned their bottles of extra-strength Tylenol capsules over to police today as a task force of about 150 federal, state, and local investigators continue to work on solving the mystery. Cyanide-laced capsules have led to the deaths of at least 7 people. The Cook County Medical Examiner said today he's reopening the investigation into every sudden death case in the county where Tylenol was found in the blood within the last month and a half. President Reagan used his weekly radio address to the nation today to declare a war on drugs. The president shared the microphone with First Lady Nancy Reagan, who's been speaking out on the issue for quite some time. But in the Democratic response, Senator Alan Cranston said that while he welcomed a war on drug abuse, a more serious problem is the country's sick economy. It's another weekend without pro football, and it's starting to look a little iffy for next weekend as well. Both sides in the NFL players' strike broke off negotiations today with no new talks scheduled. I'm Deirdre Bryant, ABC News.
Back to college football for a moment. All-American Herschel Walker, his injured right thumb still heavily bandaged, rushed for 215 yards on Saturday to lead 6th-ranked Georgia to a come-from-behind 29-22 victory over 18th-ranked Mississippi State. Walker moving to just 26 yards shy of the Southeastern Conference career rushing record of 4,035 yards held by LSU's Charles Alexander.
Taking his final warm-up tosses, Skip Carey and Ernie Johnson with you on Braves Radio from San Diego. John Mullen sitting alongside, hopefully in his lucky seat again. The announcement on Griffin. Royster will lead it off. Tomorrow, airtime will be 3 o'clock straight up for the leadoff man, 3:10 for the game broadcast as they've changed the starting time here. It'll be 3 o'clock straight up for the leadoff man, 3:10 for the game broadcast. Royster the hitter, the pitch is a ball outside. It's the top of the 4th. Royster sacrificed the first time up. He got a runner to third base, and Hubbard delivered the big hit. There's a high bounce that is short. Flannery waits on it and throws, and he got it.
Griffin is the kid that San Diego got from the White Sox in exchange for Jerry Manuel. He pitched at Wichita most of the year. Did poorly as a starter, but once he became a reliever, pitched very well.
Retired Royster on a grounder. Now Hubbard, who's single up the middle, scoring run number 1 for Atlanta in the second inning. The Braves got 2 more in the third. One a homer by Chambliss. There's a strike. 0-1. Hubbard waiting. Signed by Tingley, the pitch by Griffin. Swung on, driven toward first, over first foul, down toward the right field corner. Well, Montefusco pitched 3 innings. Gave up the 3 runs. 5 hits. Walked 1 and struck out 3. The runs were earned. The pitch to the plate. Outside. This guy looks like he throws pretty hard. 1-2. Benedict's on deck. Outfield shading Glenn to right. They give him that left center field hole out there. Now the pitch to him. Almost hit it. Fastball under the chin. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Up waiting. Slightly closed stance. Mike Griffin. and the kick and the pitch. Way outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Murphy and Al Oliver tied for RBIs in the National League with 109. Final day of 1982 tomorrow. 3-2 pitch. Driven down the right side. That's slicing into the seats. Count stays 3-2. Montefiusco, who came into the game 0-1 this year against Atlanta, has been lifted. 3-2. Fly ball right center. Gwynn coming over under, and he's got it. That's 2 down here in the top of the 4th. Not Bruce Benedict. Struck out the first time up. Murphy Stadium looks like a World Series game. They've got bunting all over. They've got a crowd of 50,000. They help celebrate Ray Kroc's 80th birthday. On a beautiful night, another full moon over the right field stand. Pitch to Bruce. The curveball outside. Parachutists who come in on some of their shows here, just amazing. Zipping in here. Sometimes one on another's shoulders, practically. Pitches high, 2-0. Rays are 5 hits and the Padres 3. San Diego committed the only error. It didn't hurt them. Came in the first inning. Here's a pitch. Swung on him down to the 3rd. LeFay charges and scoops and throws him out. Joe LeFay, who's been playing about every position, including catch last night, throws out Benedict. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Rays 3, Padres nothing.
Well, in college football today, Notre Dame won a game without scoring a touchdown for the first time since 1970. The 11th ranked Fighting Irish rode a stout defense in Mike Johnston's 3 field goals to an 11-3 win over Michigan State. Fullback Speedy Neal scored 3 touchdowns Saturday to lead 15th ranked Miami to a 28-6 victory over Louisville. Neal scored twice on short plunges and caught a 16-yard pass from quarterback Mike Risch as the Hurricanes improved to 4-1. Louisville, which dropped to 2-2, got its only points with 3 minutes left in the game on a 1-yard plunge by senior running back Greg Hickman, capping a 79-yard drive. Cardinal quarterback Dean May completed only 12 of 38 passes, 5 of which were picked off by an alert Miami defense. Ethan Horton and Tyrone Anthony rushed for 194 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead 10th-ranked North Carolina to a 41-0 Atlantic Coast Conference romp over Georgia Tech. The Tar Heels rolled up 342 yards rushing while holding Georgia Tech to just 40 rushing yards. The tailback trio of Horton, Anthony, and Kelvin Bryant rushed for 110, 84, and 55 yards respectively. Horton scored on runs of 13 and 2 yards, and Anthony on a 1-yard run.
Okay, we go to the bottom of the 4th. Terry Kennedy waiting on Pasquale. Before he bats, was paused for station identification. This is the Braves Baseball Network. Hi.
This is the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Here's Kennedy. I want to mention that tomorrow in the middle of the 6th inning on Braves Radio, first the pitch, curve strike. In the middle of the 6th inning tomorrow on Braves Radio, we'll be announcing the winners of the World Series Sweepstakes contest recently conducted by the Atlanta Braves Radio. Here's the pitch. There's a drive down the left side. Foul out of play. The theme of the contest was baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. We had several sponsors. The World Series Sweepstakes contest, many, many thousands of entries, and we'll announce the 6 winners here on Braves Radio in the middle of the 6th inning tomorrow. Kennedy waiting on an 0-2. And the pitch. Swung on, missed, he struck him out. It was dropped by Bruce and he tagged Kennedy. Passed well on that particular pitch seemed to come up over the top more. Strikes out Kennedy. Now Tony Gwynn with one down. Gwynn grounded out the first inning. Kennedy had a single in the first, an inning in which Bonilla and Kennedy both hit safely, but Pasquale got out of it without any run scoring. He allowed an infield hit in the third for a total of 3. Winding and pitching. Strike called on 1. Pittsburgh beat Montreal today 2-1. Philadelphia over New York 4-3. And the pitch. Swung on line. Caught by Royster. A line drive. Plucked out of the air by Jerry Royster going to his left. That was a nice play. 2 down. It was well hit. Here's Joe Lefebvre. Our 10th inning show follows this broadcast. We'll give you all the particulars and details. Yes, sir. Winning and losing pitchers and home runs. This is the only game that's not been completed. Joe Lefebvre bounced to short first time up. We're sailing along. We're in the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Atlanta. Lefebvre has that habit of pulling his shirt up around his neck, does it? Waits to the pitch, swung on, foul. 0-1. They got the won and loss record here. Carlton 22-11, Valenzuela 19-13. How about Phil Niekro? Why don't they throw his record in there? It's better than any of them. There's a bouncing ball right side hit. Phil Niekro is now 17-4, and he can't make the matrix board.
And he's lost 1 game since July 10th.
Tim Flannery, the batter, with a runner at first as Lefebvre singles between Hubbard and Chambliss. On the Dodger broadcast last night said, they don't ask me to vote, but if I had my choice, Niekro gets my Cy Young vote.
Same here.
Yes, sir. The batter is Flannery. He's waiting on the pitch. Here it is. In the dirt. 1-0. 4 hits now for San Diego. A 2-out single by Joe Lefebvre. Benedict putting downside. Perez at the belt. Pitches. Swung on, hit the first. And high first. Going to be at least a double. Washington trying to chase it down. It bounces back this way. They're going to score a run. On throw to third is going to be late. It's 3-1. A 2-out triple and an RBI for Tim Flannery. Over first and hit the wall, bounced out in fair territory away from Claudell Washington. Had a funny kick. It enabled Lefebvre to go all the way around from first. Now the batter, Ron Tingley. It is 3-1. Perez pitching. Ball inside, 1-0. Flannery, who's been hitting the ball, playing various positions, delivers a big triple. Pasquale pitches. Ball outside. The pitcher is due next, but they have a right-hander loosening up. Might be Schiffer. Two balls on the way. Strike call, 2-1. Cleveland beat Detroit today 2-0. The Tigers over Cleveland 4-1 in the second game. They had a doubleheader. Now the windup and pitch. Swung on and foul up by third. Perez is out front. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's got a 2-run lead. Braves don't have easy ones. Once in a while a laugher, but very seldom. They're usually right down to the wire. And a 2-2 coming. Swung on and foul at the plate. It'll stay 2-2.
Excuse me, a couple football scores. Alabama beat Arkansas State 34-7. Halftime, Brigham Young 27, Texas El Paso 3. Arkansas 35, TCU nothing. SMU 38, North Texas State 10. Big day for Tony Eason in Illinois. They beat Minnesota 42-24.
Here's a windup in the pitch. He laid off. Just outside, 3-2.
And late in the fourth, Texas 31, Rice 7.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Perez winding, pitching, swung on a little pop that should be caught by Benedict. If it stays in, he's back, and he's got it for out number 3. Right in front of the screen. But the Padres get on the board after 2 outs on a single and a triple and leave 1. We go to the 5th inning. Braves 3, Padres 1.
Back to college football. Senior quarterback John Elway passed for 381 yards and 5 touchdowns Saturday to lead Stanford to a 45-5 victory over Oregon State in a Pac-10 contest. Elway, who completed 23 of 29 passes, left the game late in the third quarter. He increased his career passing yardage to 7,610 yards. That is the 6th highest in NCAA history. The victory is the 3rd in 4 games for Stanford, while Oregon State is now 0-4. Tom Ramsey threw for 1 touchdown and ran for another Saturday in leading 9th-ranked UCLA to a 34-6 rout of Colorado. Ramsey completed 16 of 24 passes for 280 yards, despite 6 sacks for 35 yards in losses by the Colorado defense. UCLA scored first on a 36-yard John Lee field goal. Colorado tied the score 3-3 on a 46-yard field goal by Tom Fields to open the second quarter. But Ramsey then directed a 10-play, 80-yard touchdown drive that gave the Bruins all the points they needed for the day. Safety Joey Browner returned an interception 34 yards for a touchdown, and Todd Spencer ran for 3 TDs to lead Southern Cal to a 38-7 rout of winless Oregon in another Pac-10 game.
Going to run into the catcher. Putting on quite a show here tonight. Ron Tingley going along with it. We're going to the 5th inning. And it's 3-1 Atlanta. The hits are even at 5. Perez will lead it off against Mike Griffith. Retired the Braves 1, 2, 3 into 4.
He's going to beat out a bunt. Betcha.
All right. He likes to try. He's beaten them out. He runs well. Throw to second base by Tingley. We're ready to play. We'll be with you this half inning, then we'll move over to television. Pete Darrell will be over. Perez, Washington, and Ramirez are the first 3 here at the top of the 5th. The Braves battle to win this National League West. Oh, what a year it's been. A 13-game winning streak. Lose 19 out of 21. Up and down. There's a run attempt. Did he go? Nope. 1-0. He ran up. Took it outside. One thing you should say about the Braves, they are not dull. Boy, they keep you going. The 1-0. 1 on this, 1 ball, 1 strike. They've set a new double play record this year with 186. They've stolen more bases than ever before. Very interesting team. There's a foul away, 1 and 2. They've come come from behind to win 46 times. That's enough right there to keep you interested. 1-2. Griffin, big guy who brings it up there with something on it. Winding in the pitch. Swung on a little pop behind first. Let's see if Gwynn can catch up to it. He does. It's foul territory for out number 1. Perez foul for the right fielder. The Braves got their run in the second inning. Harper single, stole second. Sacrificed the third by Royster. With a drawn-in infield, Hubbard lined a single to center for the first run. In the third inning, Washington tripled, sacrifice fly by Ramirez scored him. Murphy doubled, but then was caught attempting to steal third. Chambliss homered for the second run of the inning. His 20th, first time in the major leagues he has hit 20 homers. Washington takes the pitch high. Tingley with a side. The wind-up is a pitch. Let up, now to first. Kennedy grabs it, runs to the bag inside. He changed up on Claudell and got him to bounce to Terry Kennedy. First baseman takes care of it for out number 2. Ramirez is walked, stolen a base. He had a sac fly in the third. He was voted the Sports Illustrated Player of the Week in the National League. Last week he batted over 400.
This week it's going to be Niekro. If it isn't, there ought to be an investigation.
A couple of shutouts. Did a home run with one on. Raffy takes it high. 1-0. Murphy on deck. Outfield straight away on Raff. Here's the pitch. Swung on, drilled along the left field foul line, but it's going to be caught by Richards coming over. That ball was well hit, but Richards got it. We've run through 4.5. We go to the bottom half of inning number 5. Atlanta 3, San Diego 1.
Well, we have some more college finals in. The University of Illinois has beaten Minnesota 42-24 in a Big Ten contest. Southern Methodist came out on top of North Texas State 38-10. Kevin Snow's fourth quarter field goal broke a 7-all tie and helped 18th-ranked Boston College overcome a stubborn Temple team 17-7. Snow's 32-yarder and a 34-yard scoring run by quarterback Doug Flutie gave BC a 3-0-1 record. Temple fell to 2-3. Flutie harassed most of the game, finally got his offense in gear in the final period. He guided the Eagles into position for Snow's tiebreaker, then iced the game by scoring on a quarterback draw. New Mexico State won its first game in 5 tries with a 26-17 victory over Illinois State. And Ken Hobart connected with Vic Wallace for a pair of late touchdown passes as Idaho overhauled Weber State for 35-34. Nebraska coach Tom Osborne didn't have to be concerned that his Cornhuskers might be down after last week's loss to Penn State. Playing their second straight game away from home, the Huskers rolled over 20th-ranked Auburn 41-7.
Gerald Cheney and Pete Van Wieren with you now on Braves Radio. Braves on top 3-1. Edwards is going to lead it off, pitch hitting for the pitcher Mike Griffin. Perez's first pitch is a curveball that is swung on and missed, 0-1 the count. Dave Edwards, another bright young prospect in San Diego's organization. The 0-1 pitch on the way, curveball misses, 1 ball and 1 strike. Edwards batting 185, 54 at bat. 10 base hits, 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and a couple of doubles. That's well with a 1-1. Swung on and line up the middle. Rafael Ramírez is right there, however, and makes the catch. I gotta wonder if Pascual Perez kicked that ball. One up, one down. Number 2, now Wiggins. Back to the top of the order, and Alan Wiggins. He's 0 for 2. He grounded the shortstop his first time up, and was retired on a nice play by Dale Murphy in the third. He's 0 for 2. First pitch on the way. Fastball right there, 0-1. So Griffin did a good job. He won a couple of innings and retired every man he faced. 0-1 pitch. A little inside. 1-1 the count on Alan Wiggins. Juan Bonilla on deck. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Braves. 1-5-1 for San Diego. Perez looks in for the sign from Bruce Benedict. Into the windup and the pitch. On the outside corner with a fastball, 1-2 the count. Wiggins didn't like the call. They play him around towards left field. Big gap in right center. Boyd Schiffer, who has been warming in San Diego's bullpen, is still out there. Looks like he may be the new San Diego pitcher. That's well. Starts his windup now. Wiggins backs out. Wiggins with a closed stance, deep in the box. And a 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball down low, 2-2. Inch closer to clinching the West. That's well with a 2-2 pitch. Wiggins takes it inside and we go full. 3-2. Braves have had a good road trip. They played well on the road all year. They're going to have to continue in order to clinch. 4-1 on this trip so far. Winding, here's the payoff pitch on the way. Fastball tapped to second base. Hubbard charging quickly on to Chambliss at first, and that'll retire Wiggins. 2 up, 2 down for the Padres here in the 5th. Then we'll go to the pesky Juan Bonilla. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Now 3 for 6 in this series. 2 singles tonight. In the 4th, the Padres got their run after 2 outs. Lefebvre singled and Flannery tripled him home. Capacity crowd on hand here at Jack Murphy Stadium. As well winding, here's the first pitch to Bonilla. Breaking ball, misses outside. 1 ball and no strike. Bonilla has a semi-cast still on his left wrist and forearm. Doesn't want to get hit right there. It sure is not bothering him swinging the bat. That's well winding. Here's a 1-0. Fastball grounded up the middle. Safe hit. Bonilla 3 for 3. Perez can't find the way to get him out. Padres now with 6 base hits. And here's Gene Richards. He's 0 for 2. Into a fielder's choice and a force play. At first base does not have a stolen base so far this year. They list him at 170 pounds, but I think he's put on a few pounds since being on the disabled list most of the season. It's unlikely he would go here. 2 down, bottom of the 5th. Braves on top, 3-1. Bonilla gets his lead off first, and Perez stretches. That's the bell. Pitch on the way to the plate. Fastball for a strike, 0-1. Coming into this game, Pascual had pitched 11 in the 3rd innings against San Diego and allowed 15 hits. He's at the belt in the 0-1 on the way to Richards. Grounded up the middle. Hubbard to his right. Can't make the play diving. Into center field. Bonilla around second base on his way to 3rd. And with 2 down once again, the Padres have something going. Runners at first and 3rd for the cleanup hitter, Terry Kennedy. Time is called now, and pitching coach Bob Gibson on his way to the mound. As Steve Bedrosian is up and throwing in the Braves bullpen. San Diego has made most of their noise with 2 down. They have not had the leadoff man on in any inning in this contest so far. And I guess that would be sort of a break for the Atlanta Braves. But with 2 down, they've made some noise and scored 1 run last inning, and they're threatening to score here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 down. Meeting over now between pitching coach Bob Gibson and Pasquale. Kennedy will step in there. He's 1 for 2. He singled his first time up and struck out swinging in the 4th. Pasquale has 2 strikeouts. He is not allowed to walk. Richards at first base with good speed. He has 30 stolen bases. Pasquale looking for the sign from Benedict at the belt. Checks the runner at first onto the plate for the fastball, and it's outside, 1-0. Lively crowd here tonight. The Padres have drawn well this year. That's 12 stretches. 1-0 pitch to Kennedy. Swung on and missed. It was a curveball. 1 ball and 1 strike. San Diego will go over 1.6 million in attendance this year. They've averaged around 20,000 a ball game. Pasquale at the bell. Now he steps off and takes a look at Richards. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Bottom of the 5th. Bonilla at 3rd. Richards at 1st. Kennedy at the plate. Pasquale stretching. 1-1 pitch. Fastball down low. 2-1 the count. Kennedy has 97 RBIs in the season. 21 home runs, 41 doubles. This man's had a heck of a year. He is second in the league to Al Oliver of Montreal in doubles. With his 41. 2-1 pitch, swung on a miss, another good breaking ball. And the count goes even 2-2. Pasquale reaching back for a little extra here in the bottom of the 5th. Bedrosian continues to warm in Atlanta's bullpen. Very big out at the plate. Pasquale knows it. At the belt, here's a 2-2 runner going. Swung on a miss. He got him with a curveball. Pasquale Perez reached back 1 more pitch and struck out Terry Kennedy with 2 men on. So the Padres make some noise and fail to score. No runs, a couple of base hits. No Atlanta errors and 2 men left on base. After 5, the Braves are still on top, 3-1.
Former World Boxing Association light heavyweight champ Eddie Mustafa Muhammad secured his position as the WBA's top contender Saturday by knocking out Lottie Muelle in the 4th round. The 175-pound Muhammad stunned Muelle, the World Boxing Council's top-ranked fighter, in the 4th round with a sharp right to the face before finishing off his opponent with a solid left to the jaw. The win in the scheduled 10-round bout at Las Vegas put Muhammad in line for a possible shot against champ Michael Spinks, the man who dethroned him in July 1981. Muhammad is now at 41 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw, with 34 knockouts. Veteran Al Holbert captured the pole position for Sunday's Can-Am race at Riverside International Raceway with a Saturday fast lap of 129.43 miles per hour. The second fastest time was turned in by Danny Sullivan of Louisville, Kentucky, who was clocked at 127.65 miles an hour. The third place qualifier was Can-Am points leader Al Unser Jr., the son of the famous racing father from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Rounding out the top 6 fastest qualifiers were Jeff Brabham, John Morton, and Randy Lewis.
We go to the 6th inning here at Jack Murphy Stadium. The Chickens put on a show. Brown crew is dragging the infield. They're also dragging the Chickens. He's got a pair of roller skates on. He's hanging tough. Before
Murphy leads it off. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Braves Baseball Network.
This is the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Schiffer, the new San Diego pitcher, facing Dale Murphy here. Braves on top 3-1. First pitch is a fastball upstairs, 1-0. Schiffer making his 51st appearance of the season, record of 4-3 and a fine ERA of 2.99. He has 4 saves. In 78 and 1/3 innings, he has allowed 73 hits. 1-0 pitch is outside, 2-0 the count. He has thrown the home run ball 9 times. He has walked 33 while striking out 48. Murph is 1 for 2, a double. Swings and misses at a 2-0 pitch. And the count goes 2-1. Murph has also struck out. He now has a 5-game hitting streak, and he has hit safely on 8 out of his last 9. Floyd Schiffer, the third San Diego pitcher. Monofusco started this contest, went 3 innings. Griffin came along in the 4th, pitched 2 innings. A shutout baseball. 2-1 pitch misses, and Murph way ahead in the count, 3-1. Guy. Inside with a fastball, it gets away from Tingley. Murphy down to first base is looking back, but Tingley hustles over to get the ball. That'll be a walk for Dale Murphy. That's the second walk issued by San Diego pitching, the first for Schiffer. And the Braves have a good start here to the 6th. They want to pad that lead. They're on top 3-1. Braves have been out hit. Padres 7, Braves 5 in that department. The guy at the plate right now had a big home run. Chris Chambliss, his 20th of the year, good for his 86th RBI. Chris also grounded to second base his first time up, so he's 1 for 2. Pitch to the plate, outside. Murphy not going anywhere. 1-0 the count. Chris has now hit safely in 7 out of 8. And time called now. Pitching coach is on the way to the mound. Interesting story in the newspaper on Norm Sherry. Apparently the Texas Rangers interested in talking to Norm Sherry as a prospect for their manager's job next year. Dick Williams said he would hate to lose him, but he certainly wouldn't stand in his way if he gets a chance to manage his own ball club. He has some experience in the big leagues also, the California Angels. Left-hander throwing down in San Diego's bullpen. I believe that's Gary Lucas. I'll get my contacts in just a minute. Going on at the mound. Sherry does not usually make the pitching changes, and I don't believe there's going to be one here. Schiffer, 6-footer, 180 pounds. Born in Long Island, New York. Lives out here now in California, Lakewood, California. He was the Padres' 5th-round selection in June 1978. Ready to go once again. Schiffer into the stretch. There goes Murphy. 1-0 pitch is taken for a ball. No throw by Tingley. That'll be a stolen base. Check that the pitch was a strike. The count 1-1. That's 23 stolen bases for Murphy. Oh, what an offensive year Murphy has put together. He's in scoring position for Chambliss now with no one down here in the 6th. Schiffer stretches at the belt. 1-1 pitch to Chambliss. High and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Cincinnati Reds lost this afternoon 4-2 for their 100th loss of the year. First time in the history of their franchise. 2-1 pitch to Chambliss. Outside. And the count goes 3-1. Tingley held the ball there for quite a while, thinking home plate umpire Randy Harris would give him the pitch. He did not. Chambliss ahead. 3 balls and a strike. Terry Harper on deck. Schiffer at the belt. 3-1 pitch to Chambliss. Fastball. That's a strike. And the count goes full. Chambliss did not agree on that pitch. Alan Wiggins is very deep in center field. They're playing Chambliss straight away. Hey, pitch on the way. Fastball fouled off to the left and out of play. The Count Montefusco allowed Braves all 3 runs. They were earned on 5 base hits. Braves could not get a hit off of Griffin. Let's see what Chambliss will do with Schiffer here. He's at the belt, payoff pitch to Chambliss, fouled off to the left again and out of play. Then the count remains full. The Braves have been playing this game of baseball almost to perfection the last 14 days. They have executed the fundamentals. They have ran the bases very well. 3-2 pitch driven on the left side. This is going to slice foul and out of play. Chris Chambliss is providing the fans with a few souvenirs here. Schiffer shakes off a sign. Now he has one. At the belt, 3-2 pitch. Curveball fouled straight back to the screen. Chambliss right on it. We have a battle going on, and tomorrow we'll have one too. Rick Camp and Tim Lawler hook up. Lawler, the Padres' winning pitcher, 15-9. He's a left-hander. Ready to go once again. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Grounded up the middle. Flannery has it to his left. He'll go to first base with Murphy going to third. And Chambliss does the job. Murphy now at third base, 90 feet away with only 1 down for Terry Harper. See how San Diego plays it. They're going to draw their infield in. 1 for 2. He singled, stole a base, and scored a run in the second inning. 7 stolen bases for Harper now, and he grounded to third base in the third. He waits on the first pitch from Schiffer at the curveball way outside. Nice play by Tingley. 1-0 the count. Jerry Royster moves on deck. Harper looks down to Dal Maxwell for a sign. I don't believe he's going to give him a squeeze. He's going to let Harper hack at it. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Fastball fly to left center field. Let's see if it's deep enough. Who's going to catch it? Richards makes the play. Murphy tags. Here's the throw to the plate. He's going to be out of there. King Richards with a beautiful throw to home plate. Nails Dale Murphy. And the Braves fail to score. No runs for the Braves. 1 base hit. No San Diego errors. And no one left on base. After 5.5, the score remains the Braves 3 and the Padres 1.
Well, running down the Major League ball scores from Saturday in the American League, California down the Texas Rangers 6-4. The Angels have clinched the American League West title. The Baltimore Orioles beat the Milwaukee Brewers 11-3. They're still alive and still looking to beat Milwaukee on Sunday so that they can take the American League East crown. Kansas City defeated the Oakland A's for nothing, but the score was 5-4. Boston blanked the New York Yankees 5-0. It was Toronto over Seattle 3-0. The Chicago White Sox beat Minnesota 5-3. Cleveland and Detroit played a doubleheader. Cleveland took the first game 2-0. Detroit came back to take the nightcap 4-1. In the National League, it was the Los Angeles Dodgers beating the San Francisco Giants 15-2. The Chicago Cubs took St. Louis 8-4. It was Philadelphia over the New York Mets 4-3. Pittsburgh took Montreal 2-1. And rookie Frank DiPino and Vern Rule combined on a 5-hitter to lead the Houston Astros to a 4-2 victory over the Cincinnati Reds. That Cincinnati loss marked the first time in the history of the franchise that the team has lost 100 games in a season. DiPino went the first 6 innings, spanning 6 batters to even his record at 2-2. He allowed 5 hits. Rule went the final 3 innings for his first save of the season. Mario Soto, now 14-13, struck out 9 in 7 innings to raise his season total to 274.
What a throw by Gene Richards to nail Dale Murphy, top of this inning. Braves still on top 3-1. Tony Gwynn is 0 for 2. He is lined to third base. And he lines the first pitch of fastball to right center field. Walking over quickly, cuts it off. Gwynn tries for 2. Here's his throw. He's in there with a double. Padres have the leadoff man on here in the bottom of the sixth. That'll get the Braves bullpen going again. Steve Bedrosian up for the second time tonight. Here's Joe LeFay. Joe singled and scored the Padres' only run back in the fourth inning. Came across the score on Flannery's triple. LeFay grounded to Ramirez at shortstop his first time up. Time call now. Chris Chambliss going to come in and have a chat with Pascual Perez. Tactic here. San Diego has out-hit the Braves 8-5. Pascual has struck out 3. He has now walked the batter. So the base stands in there. 4 home runs, 21 RBIs, 9 doubles. And he's batting .243 this trip. Pascual at the belt. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner with a fastball for a strike. 0-1. Braves on top by 2 here in the bottom of the sixth. San Diego threatening to score. 0-1 down. Pascual stretches once again. Here's the 0-1 pitch to LeFay. Outside with a fastball. 1 ball and strike. Joe picked it down on the Braves bullpen coach. Takes his hat off and signals that Bedrosian is ready, and manager Joe Torre is on his way to the mound. Jerry Lucas continues to throw for San Diego in their bullpen. Joe Torre has not made the signal yet. Tony Gwynn has led up the bottom of the sixth with a double to right center field. His first base hit of the evening. We have no one down here. Braves on top 3-1. Joe Torre just looks like he's staring at the first base umpire, Terry Tata. Bedrosian continues to throw in the Braves bullpen. Now, home plate umpire Lanny Harris tells Tata to make the call. Bedrosian has been called upon. The manager of the Atlanta Braves, Joe Torre, is making a pitching change. The new Atlanta pitcher is going to be Steve Bedrosian.
Back to college football, quarterback Tony Eason rallied Illinois in the final period as the Illini stunned 19th ranked Minnesota 42-24. Eason hit Mike Martin for an 80-yard touchdown on the first play of the final period to put Illinois ahead to stay. The Illini then sacked Gopher quarterback Mike Owense for a safety, and Kirby Wilson ran a punt back 46 yards for another score. In another final in, Texas was beaten right 34-7. Reserve quarterback Jeff Courtright caught 3 touchdown passes to lead 7th-rated Southern Methodist past North Texas State 38-10.
Second base with a leadoff double. Braves ahead 3-1. Bedrosian is making his 64th appearance of the season. He has a record of 8-6, an earned run average of 2.47. Steve had 11 saves. He's finished 30 ball games for the Braves. In 134 and 2/3 innings pitched, he has allowed only 101 hits, 39 runs, 37 earned runs. He has thrown the home run ball 7 times. Walked 57 while striking out 121. That's his second on the Braves staff to Phil Niekro. And of course, Phil Niekro, a starting pitcher. Pascual Perez went 5 innings plus, about 8 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks, and 1 run to this point. The runner at second base win is Pascual's responsibility. So with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike on Joe LeFay, Bedrosian will go to work. Bedrosian is into the stretch. And the pitch. Fastball popped him up in the infield. Looks like Rafael Ramírez, the shortstop. Major League pop finally comes down. Rafael makes the play. One pitch, one down for Bedrosian. Tony Gwynn remains at second base, and here's Flannery. He tripled it last time up, driving in the only San Diego run. Flannery now has 7 triples on the year. He flied to left field his first time, so he's 1 for 2. Now has 30 RBIs on the season. Playing shortstop tonight. Bedrosian looks in for the sign from Benedict. He's at the belt, and the first pitch to Flannery. Fastball, no contact, 0-1. Flannery can play just about anywhere for manager Dick Williams. He's proven he can play every day. 0-1 pitch. Fastball fouled straight back. Bedrosian quickly out in front, 0-2. Salazar played shortstop last night for the injured Gary Templeton. Dick Williams wanted to have one more left-handed hitter in his lineup tonight, so he moved Flannery to the shortstop and inserted LeFay at third base. Bedrosian looks in for the sign from Benedict once again. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Fastball fouled straight back. Flannery hanging in there, 0-2. San Diego has a lot of left-handed hitters on their ball club. Bedrosian into the stretch. At the belt, checks the runner at second. On to the plate, 0-2. Fastball is inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Tim Flannery. Ozzie Virgil coaches at third base for San Diego, and he offers some encouragement to Flannery. Jack Kroll coaches at first base. Bedrosian stretches. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Flannery. Off the stick over Ramirez's head into left field for a base hit. He holds the runner up at third base, Tony Gwynn. And San Diego now has runners at first and third. There's only one down, and Flannery moves one over Ramirez. Bedrosian made a good pitch. He got it in on the fifth of Flannery, but he fought it off. Now the Braves will look for a double play. Tingley was the hitter due up, but he has been called back. Looks like we're going to see a pinch hitter. It's going to be Broderick Perkins. Broderick Perkins at 271 on the season. 2 home runs, 33 RBIs, 10 doubles, 4 triples. As a pinch hitter, he's 11 for 28 with 6 RBIs, so he's a tough cookie up there in the clutch. We'll have to see what the Braves can do with him. Gwynn led this inning off with a double to right center field. Then Bedrosian came on in relief of Pascual Perez. Bedrock got LeFay to pop up on the first pitch. Tim Flannery just fought a pitch off the stiff for a base to the left field, and the runners are at first and third with 1 down. Jerry Royster is still throwing in San Diego's bullpen. The pitcher is the next hitter due up. Perkins taking his time getting in there. Now we're just about ready to go. Gwynn will get his lead off at third, and Flannery off first. Floyd Schiffer, the pitcher, is now on deck, but I'll doubt if we see him hit. Bedrosian is into the stretch. Here's the first pitch to Perkins. Fastball fouled straight back, 0-1. I would imagine nowadays anyone that comes up there against Bedrosian will be looking for that heater. Perkins hits the ball on the ground to one of the infielders. He's a good double play man. Bedrosian with an 0-1 pitch. That ball popped on the left side. It's going to be foul and out of play. Bedrosian way out in front, 0-2. Perkins has done it into 6 double plays for San Diego this year. The Braves have turned 186, an all-time Atlanta record. to Jones. Fouled off of Benedict's glove, a fastball. And the count remains 0-2. Braves scored 1 in the second, 3 in the third. Padres 1 in the fourth, and 1 here in the sixth. We stand at 3-2 Atlanta. Perkins gets his lead off of first, and the Trojans into the stretch. And the 0-2 pitch to Rupert Jones. Fastball flies to left center field. Terry Harper coming on. There, he makes the play, and that's all for San Diego. But they pick up a run on 2 hits. No Atlanta errors, and 1 man left on base. We have played 6 full innings now in the pennant stretch. Braves are on top, 3-2.
Now an update from ABC News. I'm Deirdre Bryant. No progress today in talks between the striking NFL Players Association and the pro football team owners. Negotiations broke off with management calling for federal mediation and the Players Union calling for direct negotiations with owners instead of Jack Donlin's bargaining team. One of the main stumbling blocks continues to be the union's demand for a wage scale based on seniority and performance. Chicago Mayor Jane Byrne declared a ban today on the sale of all Tylenol products in the city. The mayor took the action even though the deaths of 7 people have been linked only to the extra-strength capsules. Bottles containing cyanide-laced capsules have been traced to at least 4 stores in the Chicago area, and a task force of about 150 investigators is now trying to solve the Tylenol mystery. Midwestern farmers are harvesting their best grain crop ever right now, but a huge grain sales surplus has driven prices below the break-even point. Farmers in Iowa and 12 other Midwestern states rallied today demanding higher prices. I'm Deirdre Bryant, ABC News.
Football final, 4th-string quarterback Perry Kuda hit Joey Jones with a pair of TD passes 23 seconds apart to lead 5th-ranked Alabama past Arkansas State 34-7.
We go to the 7th inning, couple changes for San Diego. Jerry Lucas, a new pitcher on the mound for the Padres. Joe LaFay moves from third base to behind the plate. He's catching. Flannery moves from shortstop to third base. And a new shortstop in there, Luis Salazar. Braves on top, 3-2. It'll be Royster, Hubbard, and Benedict for Atlanta here in the 7th. Here to tell you about it is the professor, Pete Van Buren. Okay, thank you, Darrell. 3-2 Atlanta our score. Lucas, the new pitcher. Making his 65th appearance of the year. He has a record of 1-10, but 16 saves. His ERA is 3.24. He's given up 34 earned runs and 86 hits and 94 in the 3rd inning. He has walked 27, struck out 64. Chipper worked 1 inning, allowed no runs or hits. He issued 1 walk. And Royster leads off the 7th for the Braves. Royster tonight is 0 for 1, a sacrifice bunt. He's also grounded out to short. Trying to extend a 6-game hitting streak. The left-hander Lucas delivers, and Royster takes it low, ball 1. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way from Gary Lucas. Low again, the count on Royster goes to 2-0. Shading Royster toward right. Here's the 2-0 pitch. He takes the strike in the inside corner. The count on Royster goes to 2-1. 3 runs, 5 hits for Atlanta. 2 runs, 9 hits for San Diego. Top half of the 7th inning. Braves trying to get that magic number down to 1. The Dodgers are winners today, 15-2 over San Francisco. Next pitch to Royster, low and inside, ball 3, 3-1. Gives the sign. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's a strike in the outside corner. It fills the count on Royster now, 3-2. Hubbard, the on-deck hitter. Gene Garber starts to fill in the Braves bullpen now. Here's the line by Lucas.
Lucas in the 3-2 pitch. Rolls foul down the first baseline. Count remains full 3-2. Tomorrow afternoon, don't forget the new starting time for the game. Game time tomorrow will be 3:15 Eastern Time. Rick Camp pitching for Atlanta. Tim Lawler pitching for San Diego. Again, the 3-2 pitch to Royster. Again, hit foul out of play into the seats off to the right. It remains full 3-2. Braves got 1 run in the second, 2 runs in the third. San Diego bouncing back with single runs in the 4th and 6th innings. Lucas winding again, the 3-2 pitch. Line drive, right field, down the line. Tony Gwynn charging, makes the running grab for the out, one away. Royster flies to right, that's out number 1. Now second baseman Glenn Hubbard. Up drove in the first minor run with a single to center in the second inning. In the 4th, he flied to right, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Due up 4th in this inning, so if we do get into a situation where the Braves might be able to get an extra run on the board, Bedrosian could be pinch hit for. Garber continuing to throw in the Atlanta bullpen. Lucas delivering to Hubbard. Catches the outside corner with a fastball 0-1. It's a very deceptive record Gary Lucas has, 1 in 10, but he's a much better pitcher than that. 16 saves. His win came against the Braves. The 0-1 pitch, bouncing ball right to the third baseman Flannery. Throws across the first in time. 2 down in the top half of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Bruce Benedict C, who is struck out and ground to third.
Number 3, Dale Murphy.
Dave Helmick address announcer. Just announced number 3, Dale Murphy is stepping in. I knew that guy never had it all together. Benedict the hitter with 2 outs.
I've been feeling to do for George, that's Chris Chambliss.
Here's the wind by Lucas and the pitch on the way to Benedict. That misses low, ball 1. If the Braves can hold on and win this one, they'll be assured of playing somewhere after tomorrow. Either a playoff in Los Angeles or going on to St. Louis to begin the League Championship Series. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike in the outside corner. Evens the count on Bruce Benedict. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the line by Lucas. And the 1-1 pitch. Line toward left, but right at Gene Richards. And the play perfectly makes the catch for out number 3. A very easy 1-2-3 inning for Gary Lucas. Nothing across for Atlanta in the top of the 7th. We've played 6.5 with our score. Braves 3, Padres 2.
Well, another nice college action from Saturday. Vanderbilt nipped Tulane 24-21. Southern Mississippi trampled Memphis State 34-14. South Carolina whipped Cincinnati 37-10. And Central Michigan got by Eastern Michigan 13-8. Negotiations between the National Football League players and owners broke off on Saturday with no further talks planned, and both sides agreed that there's been absolutely no progress toward ending the 12-day-old strike. According to union head Ed Garvey, what there is a classic refusal on the part of the owners to bargain on every single subject. The talks ended shortly after 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. Garvey says, and we quote, "I can't think of a single issue they discussed." Jack Donlin, the chief management negotiator, agreed that the impasse remains unchanged, but he pressed his call for federal mediation. Donlin, again, the chief management negotiator, says that the players are unalterably tied to a wage scale, but they're not going to get it.
Before we begin the bottom of the 7th, we'll pause for identification. This is the Braves Baseball Network.
This is the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Seventh inning, Alan Wiggins leaves it off. He's grounded to short, fly to center, bounce to second. He takes the strike in the outside corner from Bedrosian. Nothing and one the count. 3-2 Atlanta, bottom half of inning 7. Pete Van Weren along with Darrell Cheney with you from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. The pitch to Wiggins is inside, and the count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. By Bedrosian, and the 1-1 pitch. Fastball a little bit low. 2-1. Juan Bonilla will follow, and then Gene Richards. Crowd tonight of 43,077. 43,077. Strike at the knees to Wiggins. Evens the count on the left-hand hitting center fielder at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing foul. Back into the crowd. It remains 2 balls, 2 strikes on Wiggins. Pascual Perez started the game, worked 5 innings, allowed 2 runs, 8 hits. He's the pitcher of record right now. Here's the 2-2 to Wiggins. Hits it foul off to the left. And it remains 2-2. Given by Bruce Benedict. The wind by Bedrosian and the 2-2 offering. Strike 3 called. Fastball outside corner. Bedrosian records his first strikeout. 1 away now in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And now the second baseman, Juan Bonilla. Bonilla has had a perfect night at the plate. 3 for 3. In the first inning, he singled to left. In the third, he singled to short. And in the 5th, he singled to center. He has been a tough hitter for Braves pitching this year. 14 hits now, 36 at-bats against Atlanta. Right-hand batter facing the right-hander Steve Bedrosian. The wind and the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Bottom half of the 7th inning, Braves lead it by 1. The base is empty, 1 man out. 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball is over for a called strike. And evens the count on Bonilla, 1-1. Now the wind by Bedrosian, the 1-1 pitch. Way outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count. Bonilla shaded way around toward right by the Atlanta outfield. Started his windup just as he did. Time was called and Bonilla stepped out. Two balls and a strike on Juan Bonilla. Now the wind of the 2-1 pitch, tapped towards short. Ramirez charging, picks it up, throws on the first in time. 2 down in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And the batter will be the left fielder, Gene Richards. Richards hit into a 5-4 fourth play in the first, hit into a 4-6 fourth play in the third. In the 5th, he singled to center, 1 for 3. Left-hand batter chokes up about 4 inches on that bat. Bedrosian winds and delivers. Bouncing ball again towards short. Rafael up with this one cleanly on the first in time, and it's a very easy 1-2-3 inning for Bedrosian. The Padres go in order in the bottom of the 7th. We've completed 7. Our score remains Braves 3, Padres 2.
Well, let's run down the final scores from the top 20 college football teams. Number 1 ranked Washington defeated San Diego State 46-25. It was number 2 Pittsburgh over West Virginia 16-13. Number 5, Alabama defeated Arkansas State 34-7. It was number 6, Georgia over Mississippi State 29-22. Number 7, Southern Methodist defeated North Texas State 38-10. It was number 8, Nebraska over number 20, Auburn 41-7. Number 9, UCLA trounced Colorado 34-6. It was number 10, Arkansas over Texas Christian 35-0. Number 11, Notre Dame defeated Michigan State 11-3. Number 12, North Carolina took care of Georgia Tech 41-0. It was number 15, Texas over Rice 34-7. Number 16, Southern California defeated Oregon 38-7. It was number 17, Miami of Florida over Louisville 28-6. Number 18, Boston College defeated Temple 17-7. Louisiana State surprised number 4, Florida 24-13. And it was number 19, Illinois unranked Illinois over number 19, Minnesota 42-24.
Half of the 8th inning, pitcher Steve Bedrosian leads it off for the Braves. He's 1 for 25 as a hitter this year. Gary Lucas winds and delivers. And that's a strike in the outside corner, 0-1. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Braves, 2 runs, 9 hits for the Padres. Top half of inning 8. Atlanta trying to clinch at least a tie for the National League West title. Here's the 1-strike pitch, bouncing ball toward third. Flannery up with this one cleanly over to first in time. 4 in a row retired now by Gary Lucas since he entered the game. We go back down to the top of the order. Claudell Washington. Washington has grounded out the first, tripled, and grounded out the first again. He scored a run back in the third after that triple. Coming home on a sacrifice fly by Rafael Ramírez.
The Braves have only gotten 1 base hit since John Manifusco left the ballgame.
Delivers to Claudell, a little bit low, ball 1.
Check that, they haven't gotten any base hits since Manifusco left the ballgame.
Right, the only base runner off the bullpen. A leadoff walk to Dale Murphy in the 6th. Here's the 1-0 pitch, bunted down the first base side. Lucas, nice backhanded grab, flips to first in time. Great play by Gary Lucas. That ball almost got by him, but Lucas stuck out the glove, backhanded it, and flipped to the first baseman Terry Kennedy to retire Washington by about a 7.5. 2 men out now in the top of the 8th. Rafael Ramírez the batter. Ramírez walked in the first inning. In the third, he drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. In the 5th, he flied to left. 0 for 1 officially. By Lucas and the pitch on the way. Gets away from Lafay and missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Lucas, the 4th pitcher to work for the Padres. Manifusco, Griffin, and Schiffer preceded him. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the way. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to the count. Dale Murphy on deck. Here's the wind by Lucas in the 1-2 pitch. A little bit high with the let-up. 2-2 now on Rafael Ramírez. Baltimore a winner today, big 11-3 over Milwaukee. That ties the American League East. Those 2 teams play in Baltimore tomorrow. Milwaukee will pitch Don Sutton. Baltimore will pitch Jim Palmer. Here's the 2-2 to Ramírez. Line drive down the left field line. That's a fair ball rolling toward the left field corner. Rafael around first, heads for second. Richards up with the ball, and Ramírez holding at second with a stand-up double. So Ramírez continues to hit the ball extremely well. What a second half of the season hitter he has been. Well over 300. For Rafael, his 24th double of the year. That is the 6th hit of the night for Atlanta, the first off Lucas, and it brings up Dale Murphy. Murphy struck out in the first, doubled in the third, walked in the sixth, 1 for 2. He has stolen a base in the game. Sherry out to talk it over with Lucas. They've got a base open. And Chris Chambliss on deck. Let's see if they pitch to Murphy here. A great confrontation between Gary Lucas and Dale Murphy last Sunday in Atlanta. Murphy was the final hitter of the game. He fouled off pitch after pitch after pitch before Lucas finally got him to end the game and gained a San Diego victory.
Well, they're not going to pitch to him here, that's for sure.
They will give Murphy intentional walk. So Murphy will be put on. This will be the first walk issued by Gary Lucas. It'll be the third walk given up by San Diego pitching. It'll put runners at first and second with 2 outs for Chris Chambliss. The California Angels clinched the American League West today. They beat Texas 6-4 while Kansas City was winning 5-4. So California needed to win that game to clinch, and they did. Dave Gold got the win. Reggie Jackson, a home run along with Bobby Grich and Fred Lynn for the winning Angels. So 2 of the divisions have been settled. Cardinals in the American League East, Angels, or the Cardinals in the National League East, Angels in the American League West. Down to the final day of the other 2 divisions. Here's Chambliss, who has grounded to second, homered, and grounded to short. 1 for 3. Runners first and second, 2 outs. Lucas comes to the belt. And the pitch on the way to Chambliss. He swings and misses at a breaking ball, 0-1. Chambliss now has 20 home runs on the season. First time he's ever accomplished that in his major league career. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Terry Harper, the on-deck hitter. Lucas and the 1-1 pitch. Tapped foul off to the right. Lucas out in front now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Final game of the regular season tomorrow afternoon. 3:15 Eastern time is game time. Rick Camp pitching for Atlanta. Tim Lawler pitching for San Diego. If the Braves can win here tonight, they'll clinch a tie for the West Division title. The Dodgers play the Giants tomorrow at the same time. That'll be Bill Lasky for San Francisco, Fernando Valenzuela for Los Angeles. Here's the stretch by Lucas, the 1-2 pitch, fouled off to the right again. Still 1-2. The runner at first, Ramirez the runner at second. 2 men out. Lucas getting his sign from LaFave. The left-hander comes to the belt. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Grounded slowly towards short, charging at Salazar. He's got it, throwing on the first in time, inning over. So Lucas in a little bit of trouble in the 8th inning, able to pitch out of it. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We go to the bottom half of the 8th. Our score remains Braves 3, Padres 2.
Well, in NHL news, in an off-season that saw 1 franchise and several stars change addresses, National Hockey League superiority continues to make its home in such highly unlikely outposts as Long Island and Edmonton. The New York Islanders certified Long Island as the site of the hockey dynasty last year by becoming the first American-based club to win 3 straight Stanley Cups. And Edmonton is the home ice of Wayne Gretzky, the 21-year-old wizard who established league records for goals and assists in the 1981-82 season. Gretzky Hockey generated massive publicity for the league last year with an all-out assault on the record book. He established several records, scoring 92 goals, 120 assists, 212 points, and 10 hat tricks. Gretzky also smashed the 50-game, 50-goal plateau. The Islanders, especially with the signing of holdout star defenseman Dennis Potvin, are stocked with their share of hockey heroes and appear well-equipped for a run at a fourth straight cup when the season opens Tuesday night. The organization is only 10 years old and developing more hockey talent than it can hold. The Detroit Red Wings, at one time a dynasty themselves, have made the playoffs just twice in the last 15 years, and their new owner, 53-year-old Pizza King and amateur sports promoter Mike Elich, hopes that Delavano's sharp eye for talent restores the franchise to prominence.
Bottom half of the eighth inning, Terry Kennedy leads it off for San Diego. Swings at the first pitch, fly ball, shallow left field. Ramirez drifting back, making the call and the catch. One pitch, one out here in the bottom of the eighth. Kennedy now 1 for 4 on the night. He had a single in the first, struck out in the fourth, and again in the fifth. He pops to short to lead off the bottom of the eighth. Now Tony Gwynn, who is grounded to second, lined out to third, and doubled to right center. Luis De Leon throwing now at the San Diego bullpen. Here's the wind by Bedrosian. The pitch to Gwynn. Swing and a miss and a good fastball. 0-1 the count. This guy, good-looking hitter. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss and a high fastball. Gwynn may have chased the pitch there out of the strike zone. 0-2 the count.
It's always something when you give a guy a plug like that. Like a good hitter, he swings at a bad pitch, but you're right. This guy's going to be around for a long time. He's got what they call a real sweet swing.
Now the two-strike pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike three. Bedrosian blows Gwynn away. Strikeout number 2 for Steve Bedrosian. Out number 2 here at the bottom of the eighth. And that brings up Joe LaFay, who's now catching in this game. He began the game at third base. LaFay is grounded out to short, singled, and pops to short. 1 for 3. Bedrosian's now retired 7 straight. Pitch on the way to LaFay, right down the middle with a fastball, 0-1. Now the wind in the 0-1 pitch. Popped him foul on a play to the left. 0-2 the count. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Braves. 2 runs, 9 hits for the Padres. Bottom half of the eighth inning. Braves trying to climb 1 rung closer. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fly ball, deep right field. Claudell Washington got room though near the warning track. He makes the catch for out number 3. LaFay hit it hard, but it seemed to die as it got out there. And the catch made by Claudell Washington. It's 1-2-3 for the Padres in the eighth. And at the end of 8, our score remains Braves 3, Padres 2.
Well, on Sunday, still no more National Football League football. Talks between the representatives of the NFL players and owners ended in frustration and anger on Saturday. And a 3.5-hour session in Washington broke down with no resumption in sight. Management Council Executive Director Jack Donlan said the talks are at a terrible impasse, and he called on the players to welcome a federal mediator into the talks. The Players Union has, in the past, rejected the idea of a mediator, but Players Association Executive Director Ed Garvey backed off that stand a little bit on Saturday. Garvey again called on the owners to get directly involved in the talks, and he said, and we quote, "If that doesn't work, we'll entertain a proposal for a mediator." Now, what will go on if the strike goes on? Well, the Management Council has issued a directive to all teams stating that no more than 2 games lost to the strike will be made up. And the Associated Press has obtained a copy of that directive. It's signed by Jack Donlan. It also says that the Super Bowl will be played on January 30th as planned. And that leaves 2 weekends for makeup games. One weekend would be gained by eliminating the week off between the league championship games and the Super Bowl. The other weekend would be gained by reducing the wild card teams from each conference to one. A good idea.
It's 3-2 Atlanta. Braves could sure use an insurance run or two here in the ninth. It'll be Harper, Royster, and Hubbard due up against Gary Lucas, who has allowed no runs and just one hit in the 2 innings he's worked. Braves got all 3 of their runs tonight off John Montefusco in the first 3 innings. Since then, Mike Griffin, Floyd Chipper, and Gary Lucas have flanked the Braves on just 1 hit. Harper 1 for 3, singled in the 2nd inning, grounded to 3rd in the 3rd, flied into a 7-2 double play in the 6th. He has stolen a base and scored a run. Lucas winds and delivers. Harper takes it low, ball 1. Sign given by LaFay. And the 1-0 pitch on the way. Little looper into left center field. Coming hard is Alan Wiggins. He'll reach it for the out. Flies to Wiggins, 1 out of the 9th. Now Jerry Royster. He had a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd, and the 4th he grounded to short, and the 7th he flied to right. Nothing for 2. In the bottom half of the inning, San Diego have the lower third of their order due up. Tim Flannery, Luis Salazar, and a pinch hitter for Gary Lucas. That sounds a lot better than it is. The bottom of their order has hurt the Braves tonight. Flannery and LaFay and Tingley especially. Pitch on the way to Royster. Misses low, ball 1. 3-2, Braves lead it, 9th inning. 1 man out, bases empty. The wind by Gary Lucas and the 1-0 pitch to Royster. Inside, ball 2, 2-0. Gene Garber up and strong again in the Atlanta bullpen. By Lucas in the 2-0 pitch. Line foul down the left side, up into the crowd. Count goes to 2-1. Good crowd on hand, 43,077. It has been a record-breaking attendance year in Major League Baseball. And you fans are to be congratulated for your support. The next pitch to Royster, low and inside, 3-1 the count. There's going to be some big crowds tomorrow, especially in a town like Baltimore. You'd be able to get 200,000 people into that ballpark if there was enough room. Now the 3-1 on the way. Royster swings back up the middle, hitting Gary Lucas. He can't find it. Now he does. Throwing on to first. It won't be in time. It'll be an infield hit for Jerry Royster, extending his hitting streak to 7 games. And that ball appeared to knock the glove right off Gary Lucas. Trainer Dick Dent out to make sure he's okay. Or did it hit him in the pitching hand? He went to reach for it, and he dropped his glove, and it hit his bare hand. His glove had vacated his right hand, and it came off of there. I don't think the ball actually hit it off. I think the glove slipped off of his hand, and the ball hit his bare hand. And he shook it for a moment there. But the only thing preventing that thing from going into center field was that bare hand. He hit it awfully hard. So Royster on with a 1-out single. Now Glenn Hubbard, who is single, flying to right and grounded to 3rd. Hubb drove in a run back in the 2nd with his base hit. 7 hits in the game now for the Braves. 2 off Lucas. Here's the stretch by the left-hander, and the pitch on the way to Hubbard. He swings, hits it foul off to the left. 0-1 the count. Braves with a 1-run lead in the top half of the 9th inning. As they try to knock that magic number down to 1. on the count on Hubbard. Royster getting his lead. A look over by Lucas. And the pitch on the way. Hubbard takes a strike in the inside corner. And Lucas out in front now 0-2. Benedict on deck. Lucas checking the runner. Here's the 0-2 pitch. All the way back to the screen. Royster is going to go down to second base easily. Lucas trying to waste one outside. Got it too far outside. He'll be charged with a wild pitch. Royster now down in scoring position with one out. And let's see if the Braves can take advantage of that San Diego mistake.
I tell you, if we look on our replay here, the pitch was a hard fastball. It was outside, but LeFay hasn't had that much experience behind the plate. He didn't shift over there. He tried to reach out and backhand it. I believe if a Terry Kennedy or a Tingley were back there, it would have been a ball and no advancement by Royster, but a good break for the Braves. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
1-2. The count now on Hubbard. Here's the stretch by Lucas, and the 1-2 pitch pops foul. Back out of play. It remains 1-2.
I'll tell you one thing Joe LeFay has done in this series. He has made Dick Williams aware of the fact that he can catch a little bit behind the plate, and that, of course, makes him even that much more valuable to a ball club.
For now, you've got a player that can catch, plays third base, and all three outfield positions.
So then next year they might only leave camp with two catchers, knowing that LeFay can do the job in the pinch.
Here's the stretch of the 1-2 pitch. Low and inside. That evens the count on Hubbard, 2-2. One man out. Royster down at second. 3-2 Atlanta, top half of the ninth inning. The sign given by LeFay. Here's the stretch by Lucas. And the 2-2 pitch. Up swings, lines it foul into the third base seat. And the count remains 2-2. With us all year long, listening to these ball games on radio, coming out to the ballpark, watching on TV. You're used to games like this. Tough, tight ones. Here's the 2-2. It's low and inside, ball three. Count full now, 3-2 on Hubbard. They just put up on the message board out in right field that on this day back in 1968 on October 2nd, Bob Gibson set that World Series record with 17 strikeouts against the Tigers in a 4-0 victory in the World Series. Pitch to Hubbard, line drive down the left field line, but he pulled that one too much and foul up into the seats. And it remains 3-2. Hits for Atlanta, 2 runs, 9 hits for San Diego. Padres have made the game's only error. We're in the ninth inning with one man out, Royster down at second. And another payoff pitch due to Glenn Hubbard, but now Lucas steps off the rubber.
Well, if Hubbard could drive him home, that'd be a big run. If he fails to do so, I imagine they'd walk Benedict Mr. Bedrosian.
Here's the stretch by Lucas. The 3-2 pitch. Fly ball, center field. Fairly deep, but playable. Back goes Alan Wiggins. He's under it. And he's got it. Tagging in second, Jerry Royster heading for third. Here comes the throw. Royster slides in safely. So Royster advances to third after the fly to fairly deep center field by Glenn Hubbard. 2 men out now with a runner at third. Bruce Benedict, the batter, with a runner at third.
A big play by Jerry Royster. Now if you walk Benedict, you have runners at first and third. You can always put on a double steal or something to get that run across. But the Padres, I don't know, they might not pitch to Benedict. I thought they might go ahead and pitch to him.
Nope, LeFay indicating now that they are going to intentionally walk Bruce Benedict. So Benedict will be put on, but it won't be Steve Bedrosian that Lucas will be facing. It'll be Bob Watson. There is nobody in the San Diego bullpen. This will be the second walk issued by Gary Lucas. They've both been intentional walks. It'll be the fourth walk given up by San Diego pitching. Here comes ball 4 to Bruce Benedict. We haven't moment here. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Braves Baseball Network.
This is the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Hit now for Steve Bedrosian. The entire Padre infield gathers around the mound for a meeting. With Benedict the runner at first, Royster the runner at third, 2 men out. Watson on the air batting .243 with 5 homers, 21 RBIs. He is 5 for 23 of the pinch hitters. Gives the sign to Gary Lucas. Here's the left-hander's stretch. And his pitch to Watson. Bouncing ball deep in the hole. By the shortstop into left field. Base hit. Royster trots home from third and 4 to Atlanta. So Bob Watson delivers. Driving in his 22nd run of the year with a ground single between Salazar and Flannery.
Big base hit. Big welcome for Jerry Royster at the dugout. Big hit for Bob Watson, the Braves.
So Watson's pinch hit single makes it a 4-2 ball game. Gene Garber trotting in from the Atlanta bullpen. He'll pitch the bottom of the ninth. Stop down at first base to pat Bob Watson on the back. And now Albert Hall into the pinch runner for Bob Watson, and he'll get the glad hand as he gets to the Atlanta dugout. Braves players out of the dugout to greet Bob. So put Albert Hall down at first base running for Watson. And with runners now at first and second, a run in. It's 4-2 Atlanta. 8 hits now for the Braves. Here's Claudell Washington, who's grounded to first, tripled. Grounded to first again and was thrown out pitcher to first in the 8th inning. First pitch to Claudell Washington. This is blowing outside, ball 1. 8 hits now for the Braves. 2 runs, 9 hits for the Padres. Top half of the 9th inning, Braves with runners first and second, 2 out. And the 1-0 pitch to Washington. Bouncing ball towards short, up with it. Salazar goes to second in time for the force there. And the inning is over. But Atlanta picks up a big run here in the top half of the 9th inning. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 9th with our score. Braves 4, Padres 2.
In professional golf on Saturday, Patty Sheehan holds a 3-stroke lead going into Sunday's final round of the LPGA tournament in San Jose, California. Sheehan, a graduate of San Jose State University, carded 6 birdies on the way to a 4-under par 69 and a 3-round total of 208. Joyce Kazmierski of Boynton Beach, Florida, also tallied a 69. She's second on the scoreboard with an 8-under par 211. Chris Johnson, Dale Egling, Geraldine Britt, and Kathy Whitworth are tied at third with a 212. In PGA play, Wake Forest fraternity brothers Curtis Strange and Jay Haas are tied for the lead after 3 rounds of the Texas Open Golf Tournament in San Antonio. Strange shot a 4-under par 66 in the 3rd round to catch Haas. Both golfers are at a 13-under par 197. Haas, who still hasn't had a bogey in the tournament, played his 3rd round in 67. Another Wake Forest graduate, Leonard Thompson, is 3rd at 199. 2 strokes back. D.A. Weinberg and Keith Fergus are 3 strokes behind the leaders at 200. In Service Academy football, Army defeated Harvard on Saturday 17-13. Navy outlasted an undefeated Duke team to come out victorious 27-21. And Air Force lost to New Mexico 49-27.
Here we go, bottom half of the 9th inning. The Braves 3 outs away from clinching a tie for the top spot of the National League West. Reducing the magic number to 1. Gene Garber, the new Atlanta pitcher. He'll try to save it for Pascual Perez, who's the pitcher of record. But let's not let the work of Steve Bedrosian be forgotten. He worked 3 innings, allowed just 1 hit, no runs. Didn't walk anybody. And he struck out 2. Garber makes his 69th appearance of the year. He's 1 won 8, lost 10, saved 29, and earned an average of 2.36. He's worked 118 in the third inning, given up 99 hits, 31 earned runs, 32 walks, 68 strikeouts. And Tim Flannery will lead it off for the Padres in the bottom of the ninth. 4 runs, 8 hits for Atlanta. 2 runs, 9 hits for San Diego. 3 outs to go to clinch a tie. Tomorrow afternoon, it's Rick Camp for Atlanta, Tim Lawler for San Diego. And in the Giants-Dodgers game at Candlestick, Fernando Valenzuela will face Bill Lasky. Both those games begin at 3:15 Eastern Time. Here's the wind by Garber and the pitch on the way to Flannery. He takes the strike in the inside corner, 0-1. Flannery has flied to left, tripled and singled, 2 for 3 with an RBI. Here's the 1-strike pitch. He tried to butt, fouled it back. And the count goes to 0-2.
He tried to drag that bunt with him towards second base. Hubbard playing a little deeper. Royster was charging as soon as he went down on the bat.
So Garber quickly out in front of Flannery. 0-2. Benedict gets the side. Now he's ready. Here's the wind and the 0-2 pitch. Right back to the mound. Garber fields it. Throws to first. 1 out. Flannery retired. Pitcher to first. That's out number 1 in the bottom half of the ninth inning. And it brings up the shortstop, Luis Salazar, batting for the first time. Came on the play short in the 7th. He's hitting .243 for the season. 8 homers, 62 RBIs, a right-hand batter. Moves to the on-deck circle. 1 out at the bottom of the ninth. 4-2 Atlanta. Here's the wind by Garber and the pitch on the way. Called strike at the knees, 0-1. Garber trying to become the first Atlanta Brave ever to save 30 games in one season. The 0-1 pitch. Pop foul on a play to the right. Garber out in front of Salazar, 0-2. One man out. The wind by Garber and the 0-2 pitch on the way. Fouled off the glove of Benedict. It remains 0-2. Getting a new baseball from plate umpire Lanny Harris. The right-hander winds and the 0-2 pitch on the way. Low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pascual Perez started the game. He worked 5 good innings, giving up just 2 runs. Bedrosian worked 3 scoreless innings. And now the 1-2 pitch on the way from Garber to Salazar. He swings, fly ball, right field. Easy for Claudell Washington, who waits and takes it for out number 2. 2 away in the bottom half of the ninth. And the Braves just 1 out away from clinching a tie for the top spot in the West. Kurt Bavacqua will be employed as a pinch hitter here for Gary Lucas. Bavacqua batting .246 on the season, no homers, 24 RBIs. As a pinch hitter, he's batting .320. He's 8 for 25, and he's driven in 10 runs with those 8 pinch hits. Right-hand batter, facing right-hander Gene Garber. The sign given by Bruce Benedict. Here's the wind by Garber in the pitch. Low and inside, ball 1. 2 out, bases empty, bottom half of the ninth. 4-2 Atlanta, our score. The Dodgers were big winners today, 15-2. To maintain the 1-game lead, the Braves need 1 more out. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A little bit low, ball 2, 2-0 to Bavacqua. Alan Wiggins on deck. Garber takes a little walk. I don't care how many years you've been in the ball game. A situation like this has got to give you a few butterflies. Palms of my hands are sweating right now. They did when I was a player in situations like this, and as a broadcaster, it's the same way. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. He takes a strike over the inside corner. 2-1 now on Kirk Bavacqua. Well-traveled veteran infielder. Who has done a good job as a utility man for the Padres this year. Garber ready. Here comes his 2-1 pitch. Bavacqua swing, fly drive, left field, rolling for the corner. He rounds first and will hold there as Harper up with the ball quickly gets it back to the infield. So Bavacqua keeps the San Diego hopes alive, lining a single into left field. That's the first hit allowed by Garber. It's hit number 10 for San Diego. And now Wiggins has been called back, and Gary Templeton is going to come out as a pinch hitter. Gary Templeton on now as a pinch hitter for Alan Wiggins. Templeton has not been able to play in about a week because of a bad back. They were hoping to have him ready for this series, but the back's still bothering him. And it's doubtful he'll be able to play any defensively. But he's going to be employed as a pinch hitter here. He's hitting .247 for the year, 6 home runs, 64 RBIs, 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. But you can't play defense with a bad lower back. I don't know how in the world you can swing a bat. That takes a lot. There's a lot of pressure on your lower back when you swing a baseball bat. We'll have to see. Here's the stretch by Gene Garber, and the pitch on the way to Templeton. He swings, bouncing ball towards second. Hubbard has it, steps in the bag, and the Braves have clinched the tie. The Braves have clinched the tie for the top spot of the National League West. The magic number is down to 1. As Templeton picked on the first pitch in a 2-hopper to Glenn Hubbard, he trotted over to second base, stepped on the bag to force Kirk Bavacqua. And the Braves gathering around Gene Garber, congratulating him on another save, his 30th save of the season. And the Atlanta Braves have guaranteed that the season will go on beyond tomorrow. It's still a 1-game lead for the Atlanta Braves over the Los Angeles Dodgers with 1 game left to play in the season. In the 9th inning for San Diego, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Final score, Braves 4, Padres 2.
Okay, so that's it. The final score there, again, the Atlanta Braves 4, San Diego Padres 2. And tomorrow in the National League, on the mound for Atlanta will be Tommy Boggs with a 2-2 record. For San Diego, it will be Tim Lawler, who's now 15-9. Those are the probable pitchers in tomorrow's contest. For Los Angeles, at Candlestick Park, as they go against San Francisco, it'll be Fernando Valenzuela on the mound. He's now 19-13. Going for the Giants will be Bill Lasky. He's got a 13-12 record. Jumping over to the American League, in that contest between Milwaukee and Baltimore for the American League East title, it will be Don Sutton on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's now at 3 wins, 1 loss since he's joined the Brewers. And on the mound for Baltimore, none other than Jim Palmer. He's now got a 15-4 record. Some of the other probable pitchers in the National League. For the New York Mets, it'll be Ed Lynch going against Philadelphia's Steve Carlton. Montreal's Steve Rogers will go against Pittsburgh's